Hello everyone, and welcome to another installment of Marvel Mondays, our favorite part of the week, and perhaps our lives. Zach and I will be live streaming today. A couple of questions about replayability have kind of come across our path, so what we're going to be doing is actually dressing that down, talking about what the game looks like over the course of 5 plays, 10 plays, 20 plays, how scenario packs might add to that. And then I'm hoping that we can actually play a match using a randomized methodology to see if it creates something that's interesting and fun or just kind of lackluster.
Have you named this method yet? Is it like woolly random?
Yeah, woolly random. Yeah, great. Who could ever have thought of randomizing the modular sets? This genius figured it out. No, I am a big fan of Fisher random when it comes to chess, which was a Bobby Fischer variant where you randomize the back row and then both players have the same back row. Which is way better because when I was playing chess, which is my first real competitive gaming experience to a significant, where I was spending hours and hours a day playing online, it got really boring because you learned the moves and the board. So Fisher Random kind of kept it infinitely interesting. And so I think that, aside from new content being added, there are probably ways to make everything kind of randomized so that you can have a fresh experience every time you come to the table. My main thing is whenever I build a new deck and I want to get that on the table and test it out, I don't want to have to say, well, this deck will be good against this, but not against this, so let's try to figure out what we want to play against. I want to build a deck that can have a random challenge placed in front of it and that it can effectively handle whatever it is that the villain's going to throw at it. So my thinking is whenever I create a deck that I want to test, I can use this methodology to kind of create a random scenario and then run through it and see how the synergies worked.
Sure. And I mean, I think for me, one of the big questions going into Champions in general was the replayability factor. And randomizing the what are these called?
Modular
sets. Yeah, lost the word there. Definitely, I think will help, but I'm curious to explore it on our end because I'm looking right here at these 3 stacks, and this is the 3 stacks for the main villains that come in the core set of Champions. And that's a lot of cards.
It's a lot of cards.
Even if you take 2 or 3 modular sets and put them in here, it's only going to change the experience so much.
It's a little flavor.
Yeah.
It's a little sprinkle.
What I will say to the replayability so far, we've played probably 15, 20 games.
Yeah.
Across from like Gen Con all the way till now. So, and I'm not currently playing any of these against any of these villains and saying, I know exactly how it's going to go. I know exactly what I need to do to beat them. Mm-hmm. So that gives me at least, even if there's not some way of randomizing or doing it where it's infinitely replayable, it's giving me a good sense of how replayable it actually is in terms of like what's there based on what we have. And then again, like I'm playing Tony Stark today / Iron Man.
For the first time.
For the first time. And I'm excited to play him, and I'm excited to play, like I'm playing with Justice. Mm-hmm. So there's also the element of exploring all the various pairings, but I think the solo play we did last week was pretty eye-opening for me, both in terms of evaluating cards, not just, we play a lot of 2-player obviously here on the stream, but what does 3 and 4-player feel like? Mm-hmm. What does 1-player feel like? There are cards, like what's the 0-cost neutral card that prevents a threat?
Oh yeah,
Emergency.
Yeah.
That card to me when we were playing 2 and 3-player was like, I don't think that makes it. We were building a 1-player deck and all of a sudden I was like, that definitely makes it.
Yeah.
So I think there's also a lot of replayability just out of, like I think solo play is a whole like area by itself.
Here's my solo Iron Man, here's my 2-player Iron Man, here's my 4-player
100%.
Iron Man. Yeah.
And I think that presents very different challenges, and then there's a whole bunch of stuff too that I think you can do. The beauty of this being a cooperative game is that anyone, as long as everyone at the table is okay with whatever it is you're doing, you can almost make it infinitely. Like you could go even, we're tossing some stuff around.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. Yeah. Here's the theory. So I play a lot of Arkham. Play a good deal of Arkham, living card game, and there's a real sense of excitement and exploration whenever you want to try a new build out, and you say, I'm going to build X and run it through this cycle.
You talk about like Silas with a certain stick.
I'm doing the fire axe this time, or I'm doing the bow this next time, or I'm doing the lose all my skill test
Which
build.
is really just you saying Silas is the character for people that don't play Arkham.
Yeah.
And then there's some stick that you're playing with Silas to see if you can make that shtick work.
Yeah, now here's the thing though. Here's why it feels more replayable, more exciting in a game like Arkham. It's kind of like more of that traditional role-playing game or MMO experience where you have a theory that your course of advancement will yield something that is quite strong at the end. And so like I'm going into it not knowing if it's going to work until like 6 or 7 scenarios in. When I've bought all my upgraded cards, when I've got the experience to spend on the Time Worn brand and all these kinds of things. So it's a constant exploration over the course of the cycle as my character develops. Whereas in Champions, I feel like one game and it's like, I have a pretty good idea if that worked or not, right?
Sure.
Or maybe 2 games. And so the initial thinking is, well, it might just not, it's a quicker game. You know, it's not meant to be this long drawn out kind of campaign. So is it actually as replayable? And the thing that we kept coming to is like the potential for variance and linking together different scenarios is wide open.
Sure.
Whether or not you have like an experience mechanic, we don't need to make it Arkham. But the idea of just going from Rhino to Claw to Ultron.
That's one of my favorites, is the
and
idea.
keeping the damage that you've taken,
100%.
maybe holding on to one attachment or something, or an ally that you've played, and then just entering the next scenario right on.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty interesting. I was also thinking about having 2 villains out at the same time.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Like maybe you draw the same amount of cards, it's Claw's deck, and Claw's the main villain, but Rhino's also attacking whenever anything tells the villain to attack, or scheming whenever the villain says to scheme, and you've got to take both of their healths to 0 to 1.
Well, and again, this is literally me riffing off of that right now, is if you did that, you know, Claw Rhino, and it's like once you defeat Rhino as an example, then it could be that the deck gets replaced with Claw's deck.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like, but they've both been there the whole time. Or I really like the idea of, because like we played Ultron on expert mode and got real close. So just the challenge of beating that, right? But eventually you'll beat it and you'll understand Ultron. And just the concept of beating them all in a row.
Yeah.
And eventually if you have like 15 villains, it's like, how many villains in a row can you beat before you actually lose?
Yeah.
And part of that too, kind of looping back to the hero deck side of this as well, is that even though, you know, I really, really like Spider-Man Protection. Out of the core set, it's my favorite pairing for Spider-Man. But at the same time, it's possible that we get Ultron Expert mode and like me playing Spider-Man Protection and you playing She-Hulk Aggression isn't going to cut it. So then it's like, what do you do now?
Yeah.
Right? Like who's adjusting? Who's changing? How are we going to overcome this?
And is it that you need to change the aggression cards that you have? Like, honestly, this game in 1.5 to 2 years, you know, I don't want to, obviously, that's a long time.
That is a long time.
If I'm looking at a big old aggression card pool or a big justice card pool, and I've got all these different heroes to choose from, and there are 15 to 20 to 30 villains out, it's just like, at that point, you're done. I mean, you've got it. I mean, you can play that forever.
Yeah.
That's forever. So it's really about this kind of early stages. They're going to capture people's attention long enough for the game to kind of develop that kind of catalog. And what I can say with the utmost certainty is that for $50 to $60 for this core set, it has a replayability factor that is well beyond the value that you're paying. It's well beyond the cost that you're paying.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I was hinting
So
at.
the value is high.
At the beginning, where it's like, I'm going to guess we're going to get to 40 or 50 games before I feel like, okay, I've explored the core set.
Yeah.
And each game is taking us at least an hour, if not an hour and a half. And so like now you're an hour and a half, 2 hours, and it's like multiply that times 50 games. And very quickly, you're at 100 plus hours of content. You're paying less than $1 an hour.
So that's a good deal.
Yeah, and that's the nucleus, obviously, for the future, which we saw the Captain America preview that they did the stream last week in the article on Fantasy Flight. And I was very happy to see a couple of things. One, Captain America looks
Captain
great.
America at all.
Yeah, he looks awesome. I mean, them using the shield, how they're using it, where it's basically a resource. He can start the game, get it in his hand, you have to play it. But like a lot of cards want you to exhaust it to do something, and obviously you can only do that once per round unless you have a way of readying the shield. Also, this is a complete tangent on Captain America. I got fired up here.
I knew you would have to talk about it.
I got riled up. I thought I was going to get this out on the podcast last week, and I didn't because we just got too into the topic we were on. But the shield is like a restricted item or something like that.
Yeah, you can have 2 restricted, I think.
And then it made me realize that I assume at some point we're going to get Thor's hammer, and I assume at some point it'll be restricted, and that's why they put limit 2. Which that's one of my. You haven't seen the movie yet, have you?
Not yet.
I can't believe I just spoiled something for you. Have you seen that yet?
And I like to continue to play the villain on these live streams. No.
Okay,
No.
I won't spoil
But I
anything.
think I've heard rumors about things that happen.
Easily one of the best, spoiler alert, best moments in the film. Not to go into that. Anyways, so Cap looks great, but as importantly, fully playable leadership deck. They mentioned that there are going to be some reprints, but not heavy. So
I think the general sentiment was 1 to 3
like cards
per
total.
hero pack.
Yeah.
Would be reprints at the max.
Which I think over time will be really helpful because like I was already borderline buying a second core set so that I could have multiple decks using the same whatever build. But if they slowly reprint the cards that are showing up in a lot of your decks over time, right? It's going to make it a lot easier once you have everything to have whatever decks you want built.
A lot of decks built. Yeah.
So there was that, but then the most important part for me was they revealed that every aspect is going to get cards in every pack. A play set of cards, right? And so I really like that in terms of just thinking about the expandability and replayability of the game, because I was a little concerned, let's say Justice is my least favorite. I don't know that it is, but let's just say Justice is. A hero comes out that I'm mildly interested in, not really, with Justice as the core component of the deck. It's like all of a sudden, that month that there's a release coming out for the game, there's really nothing changing for me.
Yeah. Which is the LCG problem. I mean, when that starts happening, the LCGs start tanking.
Yeah. But obviously, like, I don't have to just use those cards with that hero. So if I'm into that aspect, that's super good because I have literally 30 more cards for this aspect, which may also give you a whole new way to play. Like right now, maybe it's that Captain Marvel's not good with Justice, but 2 decks of Justice cards later, she has new things opening up for her. But then the reality of like, even if there hadn't been those cards, right? And it's like you buy the new pack, we buy the new pack, we're playing as a group. You want to play the new hero, so you're playing the new deck. And it's like, I literally have no new cards.
Yeah.
Regardless of whether I'm even into it, it's like you're the one playing that hero in that aspect. So like now I'm just at nothing new or interesting. Whereas now it's like 1 per aspect means no matter who you are, right, each pack is going to add value, which I think is a really good decision.
And especially with the reprints, I think it also opens up the possibility for like a 4-player group or even a 2-player group to double down on one of their aspects. It's like I could collect all of the leadership cards, you could collect all the protection cards, and we could do it like that. So like if Iron Man or if Captain America comes in as a leadership hero, then the leadership player buys that hero pack. They get all the leadership cards, and they give the other aspect cards to the other players. Sure. So over time, like I have the entire protection collection, you have the entire leadership collection, and then we can all pick and choose from the collected heroes of the group. So it allows you to really split cost across the people that you play with in a really effective way.
Which is kind of in a weird way what we used to do with Thrones, right?
Yeah,
we each had a house and we had like 6 players, so it was like we're each paying like $2 a month to get our packs or whatever. It was really funny.
But with the reprints, mostly being neutrals, I imagine, that actually opens up the space a lot more where you can actually do that without having to fight over who.
Yeah, we had
is
to
that
do
a
that
protection neutral or is that a leadership neutral?
You get like 3 copies of a plot in Thrones. And it's like, well, who's the 3 out of 6 of us that are getting this one?
It says unopposed. It's got to be Greyjoy.
It's got to be Greyjoy, right?
All right, so let's do this. So what I want to do here is just, again, open this up. Feel free to answer any questions if the stream's bringing questions. But I like to lay this out. I think it's really helpful if you're anything like me to actually see what things look like in the physical. We have here the 5 modulars in the core set. So one of these is recommended with each of the villains. And we've just laid them all out, and we're going to treat them as fully random, having no association with the actual villains. Then we've got our 3 villains. I put their little main schemes on top. The actual villains are underneath. And that's going to give us the 1 of 3 scenarios. And we can probably play expert. This is one of the questions that I had was, do you think there's a world where you ever flip back to standard? Once you've gotten to expert, like, do you play everything in expert from then on, or do you start standard and then try everything in expert later?
It probably depends on who I'm playing with. But for me individually, like, I would prefer just play on expert, right?
Yep.
Because when I come to a cooperative game, I want to lose 5 or 6 times and then beat it.
Well,
and then
we got a job for you.
Yeah. Well, like I just feel like you earn it way more, right? It's like
Yeah.
way more as a group. Like it's an accomplishment instead of just like we beat an easy villain. But if I were playing with new people or people that were kind of newer to the space in general, it's possible just to keep it cleaner and simpler and faster, right? I might play on the standard mode and how much time I have. Like, if it's not just us hanging out for 3 or 4 hours ready to play, like
we'll see.
maybe expert isn't the way.
Maybe that's not right. Okay, so here's what I want to do, Zach. I've got the standard cards here. I've got the expert cards here. So we agree that we're going to play expert.
Yep.
So let's just throw these three.
Standard
these
and
all
expert.
together.
Here we go.
Okay, so now what I think the best thing to do is for us to choose our decks first.
Okay.
And then I want to randomize. And we've already made some preliminary selections. So I'm going to pull off of these notes from the developing strategy guide that is included in anyone who pre-orders a core set from us. We're Covenant, or a
That's
part
right.
of
And
Covenant.
that was the first comment that loaded for me. I wasn't watching it first, but it was someone saying they were excited because they had pre-ordered the core set and were ready to get the strategy guide.
Yeah. So here's some wild notes on this. So I was looking at Captain Marvel, and I have notes for every aspect. And the thing that struck me was Captain Marvel and Iron Man both really want justice out of the core set based on the most preliminary assessment of the fact that there is 10 energy resources in that card pool.
And they both have cards that really want energy resources.
They both want energy resources. So we knew someone was going to have to yield, and I decided to be the bigger person on this. And so
That's exactly how that conversation went.
I went and looked at both protection and aggression also have 7 energy resources. But with Captain Marvel having a 1 defense, now she can get to 3 defense if she's flying with the helmet on, but it's like, you know how I am about conditions, Zach.
Yeah. If you happen to get there, maybe you'll block, but you're not going to build a deck around that
Not going to
concept.
build a deck around it. So I went with aggression instead. It also has 7 energy. Her card pool works decently with Hulk, which to me is like a question for the aggression card pool right off the bat. Not a lot of physical resources in her card pool for Relentless Assault, so that might not be as good of a card for me. She does have now tons of direct damage. Uppercuts, energy channels, photon blasts. So there could be some big direct damage turns on this. She also gets a card draw from her Captain Marvel self, but you got to discard to do it.
Card filter.
Add 7 3+ cost cards to the pool. So these are your uppercuts and your attack teams.
Which is
all
relevant.
of those can be paid for by that energy absorption.
Yeah.
So
she's the only hero in the core set that has a 3 resource, right?
yep.
So being able to pay for, there's a lot of aggression cards that cost 3.
She's got Tigra, we've got Tac Team, we've got Uppercut. I believe that's it.
So basically, if you're
7
looking at it,
cards.
what's her 2 hand sizes? 6 and 5.
6 and 5, yeah.
So that's pretty standard. And so if you look at your resources as really your hand size, being able to play one of those 3 costers, traditionally you have to use the 3 cost card, and if you have a 2 resource, it's going to cost you at least 2 more cards.
Yeah, it's
or 3.
inefficient.
So like, is a Tac Team worth 4 cards out of your hand is the question mark. But she obviously has a way to play this very effectively. But I also think that's part of what makes her good in like a leadership scenario. Because she can play all of those allies with all that money.
And I was thinking, just looking at the pool, being able to replay Spider-Woman over and over and confusing the villain
With leadership.
would be very good.
Yeah.
If you have that in Mockingbird, it's just like, well, you just continue to control the board with leadership and
They just
replaying
don't get
those
to do
allies.
anything,
It's
right?
incredible.
And so it's worth pointing out too. Like we see that a lot when we were going through. We went through every hero and every aspect as we were working on notes for the strategy guide, and where there's synergies with each aspect. So like in that case, right, we're making the case here for leadership, and yet you're playing aggression. So I think that's one of the, speaking to replayability specifically, one of the most important elements of this is you can have a favorite hero. Like I love Captain America, and you can literally have 4 different decks for the same hero. Whereas I feel like, in a game, another game I play a lot is Destiny, and it's like when you have a main character, it's rarely the case that you can like have 4 really different versions of a Vader deck. It's like, well, Vader does what Vader does, right?
It does not happen.
Yeah.
And then so the big thing to pay attention to on the Captain Marvel deck, the big strengths are resources and direct damage turns. So like I'm going to be trying to turn and burn on that. Now let me give you a little taste of your own build over there.
Tony Stark,
Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man.
the Iron Man. He's easily the most like, I think, bold design choice out of the core set from the hero concept. So his thing is that when he's in hero mode, he has a hand size of 1.
Yeah.
And he gets +1 hand size for every tech that's attached to him. So you really can't be a hero until you have your suit of armor, which is thematic. I'll give it that.
My number 1 note is got to build that suit.
You gotta build that suit.
Okay. So there's a lot of cycling in Stark, so watch out for adding extra encounter cards. By that I mean like it's just gonna happen. So we'll just
like I'm
be
gonna get
scared.
through my deck a lot, and so I'm gonna get a lot of those extra cards out.
Your feet, your boots, I believe, need a mental resource. So
I can fly.
don't sleep on that. You can stand, obviously, with your breastplate, with your middle armor. Your repulsor blast, there's 3 of them, is the most efficient card in the game from my notes. And it requires energy resources. Is that a 1 for 3? 1 energy?
It's 1, and you have to... It's an attack. You deal a damage to an enemy. Discard the top 5 cards of your deck. For each printed energy resource, discard this way, deal 2 additional damage.
Unbelievable.
So for 1, you could do 11 damage.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I wrote that, I guess.
And there's 3 of them in the deck.
Pepper Potts makes mad money.
Yep, she basically can use the top card of your discard pile as a resource.
Really wants double resources on top. Is it only your discard pile? Because if I could energy absorption...
Your discard pile.
Ah, bummer. You get 2 tech
now,
in.
if you were leadership, you could play Pepper Potts from my discard pile.
Oh, that's true. Whoa. Whoa. Try to get 2 tech in on the first turn. Okay? That's my notes for you.
And that's, I'm going to mulligan hard for tech. He also has the futurist ability where you get to look at the top 3 and put 1 in your hand. So I should be able to get 2 of those out.
You should be able to get 2 and in play. And I can help if I can play like a resource reducer or something to help you get your suit belt. Second turn probably is looking like get your seat belt. Yeah. Second turn, try to play some more tech and then maybe flip to hero if you're ready. That would be probably the fastest it could go. Once you're in full tech or close to it, just stay in Iron Man.
Yeah.
And don't sleep on helping Spider-Man and Captain Marvel with Stark Tower.
So Captain Marvel, Stark Tower. Let's see what it does.
Yeah, let's see what it does. My notes say
Stark Tower. I have to be in my alter ego.
Okay. Tony.
Exhaust Stark Tower. Choose a player. That player returns the topmost tech upgrade in their discard pile to their hand.
Oh yeah, we do have that. So I think
you actually have some tech.
I think I've got that helmet. I love
Spider-Man
that helmet.
has the web shooters.
Yeah. So you can be a real friend. Yeah, look. Captain Marvel's helmet.
Oh, hey, people on the stream pointing out Pepper Potts is a support, not an ally, so you can't do that.
Yeah.
And then we're getting some good mornings from David in Australia. I thought I said Austin. I was like, that's not that far, but it's Australia, actually. So good morning.
Good morning, Austin. Okay, you're playing Justice. Here we go. 10 energy resources. That's all
Straight
in bold.
fire.
Resource spread for you is absolutely the best in the core set. You make great use of heroic intuition. I don't know why, but you'll probably figure that out.
+1 thwart. Oh, it's because Tony does all the damage with his suit, but he can actually just scheme every time.
Boom. And then notes here, early game, probably preventing threat and building the suit.
Yep.
And then late game, open up with the lasers.
That's right.
It's going to be a fun strategy guide, folks. Okay, are you ready?
Let's
make some choices.
So I have to include all the Iron Man cards, and I'm just going to go through and make sure I want everything that's here.
15 Captain Marvel cards, and we have to get to 40 cards.
Yep.
And we can go at a maximum of 50. You got to play Hulk because it's fun.
So this, you were saying this is a great resource spread, and it is the case because this, let me just show you.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, you were right.
I was
You're dead
right.
on. So basically there's the 10 energy resources, which I'm going to put in. Then there's 7 mental, which is what's going to let him get aerial with his boots. And then, that's not true, there's 6. There's 1 physical, and then there's 2 wilds. So like, that is literally built for Iron Man.
It is.
So I'm going to do that, and let me see how many cards that puts me at.
Tag Team Tiger. I'm just dropping 1 combat training. I don't think I need 3 of that static +1. I'll give you 1 if I see it, and then I'll take 1 for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
34?
All right, 18 plus 15 is 33.
Yep.
So
got the neutrals.
Give me 7 newts. Give me the usuals.
How many Avengers mansions and Helicarriers do you want?
I feel like, man, I could maybe drop in a Helicarrier with 1 card off of the energy absorption.
Want 2 of them?
Sick. Let's get 2 out for now of both, and then I'll see.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm probably going to end up going 2 Avengers mansions just because it's the mental resource and not the physical resource. We have 1 of each of the 2 resources. I assume we're both going to do that.
Yeah.
So let's just do that.
There's the 7 I need right there. You know, emergency may just be worth it. Wait, does it have? What kind of resource does it have on it?
Let me find the old emergency.
How many energy?
Ooh,
is it energy?
it's energy.
Oh my gosh.
You want to each go 2?
Yeah, let's go 2. Do we have that many? We're splitting a core set.
There's 4. 4 of each of the neutrals. In your
Oh
core set.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Nice.
So it's 4 of each. So if you both want the card, you can at least run 2.
That's nice.
But there's very few cards that.
There you go. There's your. Wow.
All right.
That's good.
Mockingbirds.
I'll take a Mockingbird. Yeah. A 3 of? Yeah. 3 coster.
I'm gonna put a Mockingbird in.
I think I'm getting ready to drop an Avengers Mansion.
Yeah, space is getting tight. What about first aid?
No, never.
I don't know.
I think I'd only run it with leadership.
For all the allies and stuff. What about Nick Fury?
No, don't need it.
Haymaker.
What's his energy?
Mental.
Yeah, no, I don't need that.
Haymaker. Also.
Oh yeah, give me
energy.
2 of those. That's direct damage for me too.
I'll just keep stacking these over here. Tenacity. Also.
This is incredible.
Energy. Yeah, it's energy for days.
And you also need a physical resource for it?
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to pay for that. So do you want any of these?
Oh, is it when you block, you stand?
No, you spend a physical resource and discard this card to ready your hero on your turn for any reason.
That's good.
How many physical you got?
I don't want that. Maybe I do. Give me 1. Ugh.
Just in case.
Give me 2. Give me 2. I gotta at least,
Hit me with it.
if I'm gonna run it, I may as well run it. Right?
Okay, so I'm definitely running these. So I'm at 42. I'm going to put in 2 mansions, 44, and 1 helicarrier, 45. Now I'm also on Tony Stark, so I'm going to be filtering quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm going to 47 because you're going to be dropping extra encounter cards on us like every turn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to make my deck last longer. Okay, great. We've done it. We built the decks.
All right, so we have Iron Man and Captain Marvel.
You've got your Nemesis side scheme off to the side.
Nemesis to the side. My obligation I'll just put right here, and this
Obligation in the main stack. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna flip these over, and I'm gonna randomize them while you look away.
All right, I'm gonna interact with the chat. If you guys want to ask any questions, Steven's gonna be randomizing these. That way I can't tell.
Now here's the question: how many modulars do you want to add? Between 1 and 5.
I'm not certain that more modulars equals more difficult.
Might equal more fun.
That's
you have
right.
a die over there? Bryce, do you have a dice or anything? D&D group? I hear the die. Oh my gosh. Yeah, hit me.
Does he have dice? The whole bag. The stream needs to witness it. Here you
hand
go.
me a D6. Everybody, well, this is, yeah.
This is our resident D&D player in the office.
It's just so strange it's not in a Crown Royal bag. I've only ever seen dice in a Crown Royal bag or something. It's like growing up, I guess that was the cool thing to do. Here, let's do this guy. So I'm gonna roll a 6-sided dice, also known as a D6. And
so I didn't need to look away at all.
Yeah, it's fine. You do. This is just choosing the number of modulars that we're gonna do. So I'm going to choose 1 to 5. If it's a 6, I'm going to re-roll it. Or if it's a 6, we take an extra encounter card and re-roll it.
All right, I'm going to answer some questions while this is happening.
1.
1 modular set?
1 modular.
All right.
We did it.
Is Steven playing aggression? Yes, he sure is. Can you play signature cards on other players' heroes? You can, as long as there's no weird restriction for doing so. Signature cards are just cards that a hero has to play if you're going to play that hero. See. What are you trying to trick me out of there?
Hold me one, shame on
TCG
me.
Rollout, what's up? Says Avengers Mansion versus Helicarrier, go.
Man.
The mansion,
it's like the tale as old as time.
The mansion is strictly better because it lets you draw a card, which is going to be at least a resource, and it can be more than one resource.
It's always a card.
And it can be more options. But the obvious upside of the Helicarrier is it only costs 3. So the turn you're playing it, if you're paying in only 1 resources, a mansion means that you're using 4 of your cards out of maybe 6.
But you get a new one immediately.
Kind of the same thing with Helicarrier. It's like you replace 1 immediately because it's -1.
You must be able to do that to make it worth playing at that turn, I think, at all.
Like
if you can't use it the moment you play it,
yeah, then it's crazy.
It's dead. But you can always use Avengers Mansion the moment you play it, no matter what. It can always draw you a card.
Yeah, but if you're drawing like a card and that's the only card, you're going to draw that card anyway when you draw back that.
Yeah, but you can also spend it immediately, yeah? Hopefully.
If you have more than one card. So you have 6 cards.
How much does a card? So it's 4 cards to play a Helicarrier most of the time.
At max.
You need to be able to, so it has to be 2 cost or less on one of those cards so you can play the resource and use the Helicarrier to play a 2 cost.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But for characters like Captain Marvel who have a 3 just in their hand, the mansion is far and away the better card.
Oh, yeah. All right, Zach, I'm ready.
All right, what am I doing?
Choose one of these stacks of these and just point at it.
That one.
Okay. And then
You're going to give me the like what's behind door number 2 option?
Choose one of these.
This one.
Okay. We're not going to look.
So we just don't know.
They're off the table. We're not going to
I like the theatrical nature of this.
We're going to...
Whoa!
What's in the box? Now, we are going to know, obviously, what villain we're going to be fighting.
So would you like me to not look at anything else but pull these cards out? That way you can mix those in without us knowing what... Oh, wait. That's the thing. This villain's going away. I see.
Screw me up here.
I'm just going to start shuffling my unsleeved cards.
Okay, boom. Here's these. Here's these.
Because the main thing we're not wanting to see, essentially, is what it was the modular set that went in.
I don't want to know.
We will eventually know.
Yes, we'll eventually know.
I kind of feel like we should put a second modular set in there. Because, like, the moment we see one card from the modular set, we'll be like, oh, now we know.
Okay, I'll put a second one in. It's a random one. Done.
Now we really don't know.
And then we'll flip it up, and it'll be a dramatic, like, oh, look what's happening. This event.
When something hits us, yeah.
So-and-so is attacking the water tower.
Who's Captain Marvel's nemesis over there? Is it the Kree?
Yeah.
It'll be in your little stack.
Yeah. The Psyche Magnetron. Or
Yon-Rog.
Yon-Rog. The ever-living.
Mine is the Whiplash.
Yeah. Whiplash is cool.
Yeah.
I love the idea of just like electrified whips. Takes me back to those old PSAs of power lines being down.
Yep.
Don't play around.
Don't play around.
Power lines are down.
Was it like a...
Don't you play around.
Who was the character singing that?
Down, don't you play.
Do you remember that?
No, I have no idea what the personified.
Louie the Lightning Bug.
Louie the Lightning Bug. Thank you, Jonathan.
I knew it was like, I felt like it was a B, but I knew that was wrong.
Yeah. Some sort of insect was warning me about this.
Louie the Lightning Bug. Yeah, sitting there looking at that electrical line, sparks flying. Should I go or not? YOLO.
Don't play around, you. There's one thing I know, that and that PSA about meth. Those two things are with me forever.
There's some sharp-looking tokens appearing.
Yeah, we're nearing the end of this thing. We should. Is there a way to? Can we close up on this thing? How about if something is here?
It's most focused a little bit below the board.
Like this?
No,
Can anybody
put it on the table.
Can anybody see that?
Here we go. Let's do this. See if it.
Oh, we gotta actually get the close-up shot in though.
There it is.
First of all.
All right. Put her down in between the two.
Like here?
Down lower.
Here?
There it is. Yep. It's still not really working, is it? Put it on Thanos' head.
Here.
Yep.
Nothing like a bunch of yellow.
The Void asking what happened to the Covenant cast, summer break or something. So we took a break, but then we came back. But
We're back.
It's audio only. So you can now find the podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Stitcher,
Google Podcasts.
RSS feeds everywhere.
All right, yeah. I mean, we tried to get it absolutely everywhere that it could be. Spotify is actually a decent number of people listening on Spotify.
Mark, a lot of people asking questions about the tokens. I'm glad I said something. Mark Zawacki says, will your tokens be available on day one so I can play with them from game one?
Yes.
Yes.
For day one.
When we announce
willing.
them, they'll be available for pre-order. And a certain amount of them will be basically arriving on release. That's obviously a limited capacity on our ability to make a certain amount by the time the game comes out. But as long as you get in there pretty early, it'll be clear when you're buying it if that's the case or not. You should have them if you pre-order from us with the core set.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to be able to do that. Here, I'm just going to do the threat for now.
Okay.
I got the rest over here. Can people see this yet, John?
Yeah, they can see it.
They can see it? Mm-hmm. It's the shot live right now?
Mm-hmm. Oh. It's not.
That would be helpful.
It's live on my computer.
Okay. Can everybody see these now? Yes? All right, so here's something that's fascinating. This is the idea has now been realized, and there's some work yet to do on these, but you probably can't see it too well, but we have 5 different 1020 threat tokens, and they all represent different scenes that you might see in a comic book or different schemes that a villain might be on. We really wanted to drive that story home and make it feel like every threatful encounter that you're dealing with might be a little different because different villains do different things. So here we've got dynamite, and it's going to turn into like a cratered explosion, which is awesome. Here we've got like a control panel, villainy stuff where they're just going to be like, I'm adjusting my dials, and now is almost the time to throw the switch. And then if you fail, it does go to 20, and you get a super beam, and it starts destroying, Earth as we know it, or your house, or whatever. Here we've got a bank vault. Beautiful. This is probably one of the more detailed tokens of all time. Bank vault that turns into, wouldn't you know it, an exploded and looted bank vault. So don't screw that up.
That bank vault's pretty crazy.
It's, in
the detail there.
Police car goes to police line, do not cross. Something has happened. They showed up at the scene and then realized that the heroes have failed. Somebody's dead or otherwise hurting. And then we have the crosshairs here, and that turns into classic rain of bullets. Death, if you will.
The old machine gun crosshair.
Yeah, so this is like my favorite thing. We just got our prototypes in for these today, and they are excellent. So we're going to be using those in this game as well. We're going to see how that feels.
Here, we had some questions about them while you were showing them off. You ready for this?
Yeah, sure.
Live on my computer.
You want to go back to the
there
main shot? There?
Do you worry that the numbers are a little too small?
No. I can see them perfectly.
Different question. Do you know if you can put different...
We tested for that.
We have smaller ones. We had some bigger ones. We're pretty happy with it. We have smaller numbers on other things. They've not been an issue.
I feel like I'm pretty far away from the tokens right now compared to like when I would be playing at a normal table. And they're very apparent and obvious to me. So if they were like right here, it wouldn't even be a question mark. I'm trying to find the questions that I saw earlier.
Chat must be blowing up.
Yeah.
Keep going.
All right. There's a lot of people saying they really like them.
Overwhelm him.
They just keep chatting faster than I can catch it. Just people saying they love how much is going into these
Good
stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And when you get
actually care a lot.
A bunch of tokens out with all these different scenes on them, hopefully it really does evoke that sense of like big panels of comics happening.
Yeah,
which is the goal.
Okay, you ready for this?
Galactus wants to know if you got your nails did.
Me?
Yeah.
I cut them recently. I have bad nail-based habits. I'm a country boy. Okay.
Interesting.
Let me get out. Yeah, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you, Zach?
I don't feel like a country boy.
You're a town boy.
Yeah.
You were a town boy.
Vacation
I can walk
in
to
New
your
York.
house after school.
Remember that. I almost just destroyed myself with this mic.
Looked like you were getting some pull-ups over there. I don't know what the deal was. Okay, here we go.
Just get my hero workout on.
Are you ready?
I tried to get up and this mic cord just like almost strangled me. I just need to make sure. Okay, we're good.
The break-in.
It's the break-in. The Rhino.
Advanced Rhino, 2 and 3. Coming at you.
All right, so we're doing expert mode. So we skip stage 1.
Get him out of here. And then we put the break-in here. We've set the scene. Do you want to sleeve him?
No.
Cool. All right, great ideas. All right, and then let's set his health. So health is 15 times 2. So give me a 30. This is something we're also working on. So we put the Defiant fist there.
So this is actually, you were explaining this to me. It's kind of funny because I'm not super involved in the process. So I'm going to talk about it as someone who didn't do this.
Great CEO.
Yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
right. So it's
form a committee.
It's actually pretty. When you explained this to me, it was really clever. So if this were at 50, we'd have 2 20s here.
First of all, show the 50. This is new. So we actually took it and we wanted the personified form in there.
Let's get.
Let's get 50 in there. Actually, let's start with 100. Let's just run it down. John, do you want to go to zoom in mode again?
Yeah.
I want to show this.
I didn't realize this was the.
It didn't intend to be. I'm just excited about it.
Yeah, me too.
Put it down by that Marvel card down there, and we'll get to it.
That Marvel card is not the best
right
indicator.
In the corner.
Thank
you
you.
can push even farther down. We can get a nice shot.
Okay.
Sam asking, can we see the character boards under the camera? Do they have unique designs on them? So they will have
They're
unique
not
stuff on
finished.
them, but they're nowhere near finished.
Not even near finished.
This was
is just a working.
Extremely rough, something to hold the tokens that we were working on. That's one of the last.
You kind of see the beginnings of it.
That's one of the last things that we're finishing up, I believe, this week. Before we put these available for everyone to order and stuff.
All right, so check it out. Are we ready? Can we see this?
Yeah.
Everybody see this? All right, so starting out with 100 health, which is just my fave.
Wait till you see the 150 tokens.
All right, so
It's
at
crazy.
100. It's like
and the 2 colors.
It's essentially a personified form of some kind with immense power. I mean, right? There's not even a question. That's the power is so immense here.
And if you're at 100 health, this is going to be a bad villain.
Yeah, it should feel terrifying and hard.
Yeah.
So when you finally knock 100 down to 50, you have a still beautifully powerful
That is maybe my favorite token design.
personified form.
It's like they're like in the air
Yeah.
with the bubble around them. That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, when you start knocking down the 50s, you start looking at the Defiance element, the fist, and kind of this, we view this as kind of a zoomed in. It's almost like you're zooming in as you go. So the 100 is the farthest away, 50 you're zooming in. Then you get this beautiful cut panel of like that Defiant fist that you would see in like a comic book. And then when you knock that down, you start to see the villain kind of showing up again in a more, almost an ethereal form, like you're showing up, but then you're kind of getting away. But then also a weaker form, because you feel that it's getting smaller and
it's
more
a little
manageable.
closer, and it looks as though again, this is me sight reading.
Yeah.
It looks like he's on the ground.
Yeah.
Right? It's like he's been like.
Yeah, it's like you're there now.
Yeah.
It's like we can deal with this. And then the whole time, you're stacking the right side, and you've got the henchmen that you're dealing with. So like as you are kind of working through these villains, it's just like you're dispensing with an infinite number of goons, which is really the whole idea. And then the ones here representing kind of the most basic unit of what a villain's health would be, which is like a readout. You've got some monitoring, and just kind of an abstract of like, this is the kind of what's happening underneath all of these kind of personified things. So I love it. I particularly love how the 50 and 100 finally turned out. That was awesome.
I think the thing that is worth pointing out here, it's on the back of the 50.
Haha. Yeah.
Is like, based on the counts we've seen so far, right? It's like you probably are going to have at most like 100 and then maybe a couple 20s like this.
That's a lot.
And a 10. Like even if you're going up to 150.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like at any one moment, you basically have like a big, powerful villain, a couple of fists, which are the villain's fists, and then like representing them down here. So it's like that gets removed, and then it'll be shown back to like. So it's like, you knocked him out of the air, and then you had him on the ground so you could punch him.
Yeah.
And it's like slowly, it's like these start dissipating, right? And this 100 goes away, and then you're down to like a couple fists, or a fist and a dude, and then you're down to a fist and then a dude, and you're just kind of clearing it out.
And it's just managing. It's great. And so we're just trying to tell that story. Same with the threat, where you have all these different kind of things evolving over the course of the game. It keeps that story fresh of mind. All right, let's play already. I'm excited. I'm ready.
I'm not gonna even read. I'll read the comments after on social and reply to them. There's a lot.
That's good.
Someone's
Thank
saying,
you guys for engaging. Usually it's a bit more of a mild.
Yeah, like so. Nam says, "Dang, these tokens look amazing."
Awesome, Nam.
Paul Lovett.
Thank you.
Someone that's Galactus.
I do know what you're doing.
Someone says we offer some sort of
Tetrazine.
compact container to keep all these tokens separate and organized in
Dude,
play.
check this out. This is
I love this.
This is another piece
It's
that
funny,
we're working on.
I posted I was doing the social last week for the first time in a long time around these parts. And I posted about our email update, our email platform update.
Yeah.
And it's seemingly innocuous or mild change for especially people that aren't here every day.
Yeah, it's a big change for it. It's been a year in the making,
But
essentially.
it's a huge thing that affects everyone we interact with. But in this way, it's like this is just a small little thing that really it just gets me. This is the little things that get me really excited.
First of all, this is the most satisfying thing that you can do.
Period.
Just they fit perfectly in there, right? We're using all the same ratios, and so these all fit. Now we're pretty sure we can get the entire set in some kind of a form where you can literally just have these boards together, and like this acts as your entire token set. That's what we think we can do. Now, how far we go with that and how that ultimately manifests is yet to be decided.
Even at its simplest form, I'm just going to dump these out.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep, you're
For
welcome.
my hard work.
Is that all of the tokens for the villain would fit into these slots on the villain board?
Yeah, everything is a perfect,
So like at minimum, this board has everything you need for the villain. Like that's how these quantities are being designed to work, so that there's not an excessive amount of tokens. Because
Right on.
we're also trying to limit it to the minimum number of tokens required to actively trace the state
Just
of the
don't
board.
like stuff laying around.
All right.
I'm
Here,
not
you
a
want
lay
these?
around kind of
Okay,
person.
so I'm going to set, let's
Set it to
get
30.
to this, 30.
Set to 30.
So this is the, for everyone that's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to handle the system? This is what it actually looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I have 2
It's all
tokens
good.
there.
I'm going to put these threats over here. We can hang out with these. All right, Zach, here's the break-in.
Breaking and taking.
Rhino is attacking a shield facility.
All right.
Good to know. Rhino is trying to smash through the facility wall and steal a shipment of vibranium. You must stop him. All right, so we have 14 threat until the game is over. So this would be a quick one. We can maybe do another random
It's one
game.
stage?
Yeah,
You know
it's
what we
one
can
stage.
test out?
We can test the next. Go to the next.
Just go straight to collapse.
straight through. Do not
You want
pass
to do
go.
that?
Do not collect.
When we get to
time.
that point, we'll see what we need to do to bring it into balance and
we'll
make
see
it happen.
what kind of time we've got too.
All right, so Tony Stark, we do our player stuff yet?
Hold on.
Nope.
Let's.
Oh gosh,
I'll get in a good habit here.
this is why I need to play with someone who's good at rules.
Don't worry, I am a reader.
Yep.
All right, we select our heroes, which we've done. We set the hit points of our heroes. Zach, I'm not going to set hit points. I'm doing damage on my hero, not health.
I'm gonna do the exact same thing.
I'm not
So I'm gonna count it.
crazy. First player, who is it?
Well, I'll take it.
You got the
I am
token over
Iron
there?
Man.
Yeah,
I
it's
do.
right there. Boom, first player. Now you can put that on your board if you want, or you can leave it
Sure.
out to
We'll
make
do
it more
Look how
obvious.
tidy that is.
Okay, we put our obligations in the thing. We put our nemesis things. We shuffle our decks, which we've done. We collected the tokens, which we've done in a very extensive way. We selected our villain randomly, unlike what it says. Set the villain's hit points. Resolve the scheme setup. That's where we are now. Search the encounter deck and discard pile for the break and. I'm not going to show you though, because then you'll see what the modulars are. Break in and take in and reveal it. Shuffle the encounter deck. He's breaking and taking. I don't know if you were hip to that yet.
Is he
but
taking and breaking or breaking and taking?
He's breaking and taking. You have to break first to take.
Fair.
Reveal it. Shuffle the encounter deck. Okay. When revealed,
Place an additional threat here per player,
so 3 threat.
and it comes with 2. So it's 4, right?
4 threat. Yeah.
And it's going to deal us 1 extra card, encounter card, during the villain phase, unless we get rid of it.
Classic. Just vanilla ice cream here on this.
By the way, there's a thing on the internet that is, we basically just ignore all the side schemes. Us, as
Nathan
players.
was asking about that. Yeah.
And whether or not that's the right tactical decision, and I don't know yet.
It's definitely a good question. I mean, I honestly have no idea.
Also, for fun, just so you're aware, when I'm playing my
Hate
Tony
fun.
Stark armor stuff, I'm going to literally play them around him like his armor.
Thank you. I really wish they had done slots, but I'm not the one making the big bucks here. Create and shuffle the encounter decks, which I've done. Oh, so technically we would bring that out before we shuffle the deck. That makes sense. I get why they do that. Then we draw cards equal to our hand size, resolve mulligans, and then do character setup abilities, and we are off to the races.
All right. Looking for rockets.
2, 3, I don't get to start in my... And I'm going to play without a board just to see how miserable it is. 6. Okay. What are you looking for? You're looking for suit, right?
Just suit.
What am I looking for? Wow. Okay.
Don't need either of those.
I
Definitely
don't
2.
need this. So let me explain my choice here. After I attack and defeat an enemy, remove 2 threat from a scheme. There's no enemies I'm going to do that to you this turn, so that's a waste of time. Combat training I like. That's a static +1 forever. Power of aggression I like, because that's going to make me a free combat training. You got to play Hulk. And I've got an uppercut and a haymaker. I'm not going to play this uppercut. This is first turn.
0% chance, yeah.
I could hold on to the haymaker, or I could not. I don't think direct damage is anything that I want.
No, I don't think that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
Unless you need the energy, which you don't yet.
Are you first player?
Yep.
Okay. Because if I was first player, you wouldn't have any allies, and Hulk would be a little safer.
Well, I'm going to give you a hint. I'm not going to have any allies.
All right, good. Oh, yeah, my helmet. Ah, yeah, look. And I drew energy absorption, my helmet, and a photonic blast.
So that's important because you actually drew a 3. That's kind of a waste if you don't draw it.
I'm just going to do that off the bat and draw a card.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
All right, I
Captain
have
Marvel,
to
you
make
tough.
choices here. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to be in hero
Wow,
mode, so
and
forget about it.
I forgot. I just get a free card to a player every turn with
Okay.
Carol.
She good.
Wow.
Whoa!
Wow.
All right, I'm going to discard the hero stuff because I'm not going to be in hero mode for a minute. This seems fine.
You're doing a lot of thinking.
Draw. Could have gone better.
Could have been better. I don't think that I'm ever going to play this helmet on her. There will be a protection Captain Marvel build probably at some point. The helmet and a suit.
Yeah.
But it's just a lot of conditional
All right, so we
stuff.
drew our cards. What's next?
I think we start playing the game. Do you want a little card? It'll keep us honest.
The player turn.
Yeah, it's like my security blanket, basically. And then I'll give myself a villain phase.
I'll put this right here.
I'll give you a villain phase so we can run this town together.
All right. Take turns in player order.
Starting with you, play
All
your
right,
cards.
good to go.
Or request.
I'll use my futurist action. Look at the top 3 cards of my deck. Add 1 to my hand and discard the others.
I'm happy to give you the card this turn as well, if you want to request that action formally in the framework.
You might want to look and see if you need the card, though.
What do you think I've been doing? I'm going to play that. I'm going to play that. I'm going to draw a card, and then I'm going to play this. Yeah.
I'm going to get this.
I don't need the card.
Okay. You ready for this?
I have a dad's turn coming up. I got a big turn.
Let me do my math on all this business. So
If people don't want to watch you do math, Zach, can't you just play from the heart?
No.
No.
No. All right. If I do that, then I can do that.
You know what I've been thinking about? Just talk to the people here for a second. I'm thinking about Netrunner a lot.
Yeah, me too.
Lisa's actually doing a really good job. Did you see their alt arts and stuff?
It looks
Yeah.
amazing.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I've been constantly impressed.
I wonder how is that happening? That art has got to cost some cash. Because those are like good artists.
I'm going to start doing stuff.
Unless it's a passion project.
They're putting everything they make back into it.
Yeah, yeah.
So here's a good question.
Non-profit, essentially, I guess. Yes.
So a few things. One, don't the rules say you can offer an action as well? No request needed. Yes, I think they said you can. Matt says me too on Netrunner, but Sean says
Trigger and request actions, that's correct.
says in quotes, play from the heart, end quotes. Have you met Zach? Question mark. LOL.
He's saying you're heartless.
Is that how I play? I don't think that's how I play. In fact, I think of anybody, I'm the Leroy Jenkins player.
You're
here.
probably less analytical. So I come into the game with more heart. You come into the game with more raw efficiency, but then you play with more heart, and I play with more raw efficiency.
Isn't that funny?
I play like a goofy Gungan deck as efficiently as possible. You play like a very efficient Darth Vader deck with a lot of Hail Marys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a funny little thing.
If
to
we
us.
could ever combine our two raw
It'd
efficiencies,
be over. It would just be
That's
over.
why when you build my decks, it goes well.
That is exactly that's exactly it. Because I'm willing to be cold and calculated in the deck building process, and you're willing to be cold and calculated in the game.
That's right.
All right. So I have an idea. I'm going to play Surveillance and Genius to play Pepper Potts.
So 3 mental, 2 from Genius, 1 from Surveillance to play Pepper.
Yep.
Okay.
And now she has a thing that says I can exhaust her to generate the resources of the top card of my discard pile,
Oh, of course.
which is Genius.
It's Genius.
So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do that to play a Stark Tower.
Oh my gosh.
Then
This is exactly how this is supposed to work.
yes.
You got like your perfect draw. Do you?
Oh,
Hey,
wait,
take
hold
my
on, hold on.
card
I
now before
discarded.
you do all this stuff. Why
Yeah,
are you doing all
I need
this?
the card. I discard the wrong 2 coster. It's the same thing. You want to give me a card? You don't
Boom.
exhaust.
Yeah, but I'm just going to do it to signal that I'm making an effort.
Oh, I made a mistake.
I told you. Always take the card first. You're like drawing on last click over here.
It's all right. I just drew a Avengers Mansion that's not going to get played.
Why don't you do Pepper
I think
into
I still think
Avengers
this is
instead?
better.
Okay. All right.
Is that? Wait, that might be right. No, that's not. This is still incredible.
Okay.
So then I'm going to exhaust it, and I can return the topmost tech card in my discard pile.
Do you have one in there?
Yeah, I discarded one a second ago.
Good.
So I'm going to get the gauntlets.
Yeah, the gauntlets are good.
Then,
They're all good, I guess.
for my next trick, I'm going to use the Power of Justice, which is max of 2 per deck.
For you, I bet it's so much fun playing a card called the Power of Justice.
It is pretty good, yeah. That's to play a surveillance team.
You need 3 counters?
Yep.
Hey, check this out. Look at this. I'm going to do it. Okay, so we've got them on the back of the acceleration. We've got 3s, and then we've got 1s on the stun.
Can you send me a 3 1s?
And tough.
Oh, all the conditions.
Yeah, the conditions on the back because
smart.
Yeah, we found out that like of all the efficient ways to do those generics, putting them on the back of your statuses was easily the right call.
So then I'm going to use this Surveillance Team exhaust, remove one of these tokens to remove one of these threat.
Who's laughing now? No side scheme.
That's right. And then I'm going to pay 2 resources for gauntlets, which aren't going to do anything yet, but they will.
You can flip and use them right now.
I don't want to.
Okay. All right, fine. All right, my go?
Yep.
Okay, so I got to pay attention. I'm going to use the Power of Aggression, 2 resources when I play an aggression card.
Seems good.
And it's going to attach a combat training
That's pretty good.
to give me +1 attack.
For the whole game.
For the whole game, for the rest of the game, that's right. Then I'm going to flip to hero mode with my combat training. And then I'm going to play a Photonic Blast with my energy absorption, which is just Captain Marvel to a T. So it's an attack that's going to deal 5 damage to an enemy. So we'll take this 10 and let's convert it into a 5. Can you make him
I
a
got
5?
you. Yep.
And then if I
Hey,
paid
you're doing
using
some work over here.
I'm just I come at blasting. I mean, you're over here trying to figure out how to attach a gauntlet to yourself, and I'm already blasting from the sun here, or
Well,
whatever.
not all of us are cosmic beings.
Did I get my power from the cosmos, literally?
Yeah.
Like.
As far as I know.
Birdman? Wasn't Birdman powered by the sun? Is that true?
I don't know about Birdman.
Superman
I'm
has
pretty sure Birdman was
some
powered by the sun.
Sun energy going on.
I get to draw a card because I used my energy resource to pay. Oh my gosh, I drew into strength, bruh. Okay, I can do this. Ooh, what a decision. Should I play Hulk or the helmet? I don't need defense, right? Do you? I've got 1. I mean, do you think I'm gonna?
If you really need the helmet back later, I can get it for you with the Stark Tower.
That's what I'm talking about. We wrote that in the strategy guide.
we even said it before we started playing.
All right, let's do.
Plus, Hulk's too fun not to get on the board.
Hulkinator.
He's a good time.
Paying for Hulk with a strength. Look at this. Look, the theme.
There's a lot of Hulk going on there.
Look at the theme.
I like that a lot. Hey, there's a question. Do you think Pepper targets cards you are discarding to pay? No, I think it's whatever's on the top when it is happening.
But like, if you pay for Pepper Pots, and then you use the ability. Yeah.
It's not like the cards I'm using with her ability to play something are what's on top. They're still
How is that even?
in the ether state.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, and then this card is I'm gonna burn it for nothing because I didn't expect to get a double strength. So.
Oh, you got the free card.
I got the free. Didn't need it. Bad times.
It's time for Hulk to do some work, huh?
Now so I could do 3 damage, or I could do a 2 thwart. That's really the question, isn't it?
And I'll be able to do 1 more next round.
Hulk isn't thwarting. Let's start here. Let's see what happens, shall we?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to do a 3 attack with an ally. It's got a little symbol underneath it, so Hulk's going to take 1 damage. Can take up to 5, so that's good. After turn display, discard the top card of my deck.
Give me that physical resource, though.
Did you do 3?
Yeah, I took him away.
You took my... wild. All of the above. All right, Zach, let's run it down. Deal 2 damage to the enemy.
All right, it's gone.
Done. Deal 1 damage to everything.
Including me and the enemy and all our friends.
Discard Hulk. All right. So that was 5, 3, 4, 5. That was 6 damage to the enemy for
Hulk
2.
Smash.
That's pretty good.
I mean, 2...
Just took a little collateral.
That's fine.
I wish that it wasn't Spider-Woman that got discarded.
Where's my damage? Here it is.
Yeah, all your damages
All
are
right,
over
take
there.
him on. I like putting damage on heroes so much more.
Yeah,
It's
me
unreal.
too. It feels a lot more right. Okay, now do you just do 3 damage here?
I think you thwart, dude. I can get rid of that next round.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's see what happens when we actually take it seriously.
So we take...
I don't know, because why even bother with that until we can do it all at once? We're still going to get the extra
well, it's the
card.
same thing with the damage, though, right?
Yeah, but it feels more, tangible.
It's
and I've
just
got my
like-
+1 here. I'll make you a promise. I'll do it next turn, and then we'll remove the side scheme.
That's fine. I mean, you don't have to promise me that if that's not the best thing to do.
I'm doing it. I am promising you, though. 3 damage gone. I got to use my static passive. You know, I feel very efficient.
I'm down to it. All right, so that's it with the player turns.
That's
right?
it. Yeah, we did it.
All right. So then,
Stand and deliver.
ready everything. Draw back up.
I'm going to discard that helmet, and I only go to 5 cards now because
Because you're a
course,
superhero.
4, 5. Okay.
This is great.
Okay. I'm going to take my card next turn.
By the way, it was totally the right choice not to scheme or thwart.
That's right.
You were correct.
Say it again. Say it again. Okay.
We have to remember here. This is important. This is a good lesson, actually. I'm playing Justice,
Right.
which I have never played.
You've got a lot of threat stuff.
I have a lot of cards that remove threat, and so if there's not threat on the board to remove, I have a lot of cards that don't do anything.
Yep. Totally fair.
All right, so the first thing we do, for each player, we're going to put a threat on the break-in, and if it gets to 7, we lose.
Yeah. No, if it gets to 14, we lose. We've got some
Oh,
time.
7
You're
per player.
just playing that solo last game.
That's right.
The villain attacks once per player in player order. You're an alter ego, so you're going to get schemed. It's a 1 scheme.
So he schemes, and we gets a boost card here.
Here's the boost.
For
nothing.
nothing. So
It's fortunate.
he's just going to add 1
Yeah,
to this,
1.
this here thing.
Done.
1 and done.
And then going to attack me, 3 attack. Yikes. With a boost. Nothing.
That's fortunate.
Wow. Both assaults gone. Excellent. So I will take 3. Let's go 1. Let's do a big 2. 2,
Man,
3.
not having a board over on that side. We only have so many
I
prototypes.
know, I feel like a peasant.
It's going to be...
Can I just pretend? Look at this.
Yeah, you can pretend.
Thank you. Okay, deal an encounter card to each player. We get an extra 1 card.
So does that go to me?
Goes to the first player, yeah. It
Do
just
all the
cycles
extras
through.
go, or does it go back and forth?
No, I think the second one would go here.
But it's interesting because you deal it, and then now I resolve all of mine.
Yeah.
It's not like back and forth. So like, I think Lord of the Rings, it's like 1 at a time happens. Like you have to resolve yours before you go to the
Yeah.
next thing happening.
They got wise because when you're playing that game in reality, everybody wants to take their cards and resolve them quickly, and then Surge makes you
It's
like,
also just
you
way
can
cleaner
pass
to
it
do
around.
it this way. All right, you ready for my first card?
Yeah.
Wind revealed.
I'm going to make sure what we're saying is correct. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and read it. Masters of Mayhem. It looks like we have the Masters of Evil set. When revealed, each Masters of Evil minion attacks the hero it is engaged with. If no attacks are made this way, search the encounter deck and discard pile for a Masters of Evil minion.
Awesome.
And put it into play engaged with you, then shuffle the encounter deck.
See, that's a welcome surprise, I think.
So I'm just going to do the first Masters of Evil minion I find.
Yeah, that seems like the right way to do that. Okay, what is that? Hazard. An additional encounter card is dealt during step 3 of the villain phase. Additional cards are dealt in player order. So the first additional goes to the first player, the second additional goes to the second player, etc.
So we're going to get your favorite out.
Melter, I love it.
Melter Skelter.
This game really puts me back in touch with a very critical part of my early development as a child. Honestly,
It's really, I feel
it's
like,
like, oh, everything's just cool.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
This
you go
game
to
came
the
along at the right time in our trajectory.
yeah, because then you like live 30 years and you're like, actually, most things are not cool that you encounter on a daily basis.
Well, I feel like when we were like 7, everything happening was awesome.
Oh, it was. And
maybe
it's
that's
truly,
just-
it wasn't because we were kids.
No,
It
not at
was
all.
not because we were kids. It's because we were very special and we were the one point in time where everything was awesome.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. There's some sarcasm happening. But I think about like things I was into as a kid in that range is like heroes were around, Ghostbusters were around, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
Dinosaurs
were
were making a
around,
comeback.
Transformers were around.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, how about Dragon Ball Z, a bunch of hero stuff, Batman the animated series, X-Men the animated series, and so on and so forth. Star Wars, etc.
Animation was finally coming into its own as a real like.
Yeah. Even like Bugs Bunny, Animaniacs, etc. Looney Tunes. Melter. Masters of Evil. Let's see anything. He's 1 scheme, 3 attack with a star. If he attacks me, the engaged player must defend against Melter's attacks with an ally they control of
That's
Able.
devastating.
I don't have any allies.
And it's just engaged with you, so it doesn't attack. Okay.
Oh, you know what? I always draw this card no matter what happens.
Is it Melter attacks you?
Guess the card I always draw.
Obligation. Tony
Your
Stark.
obligation.
Oh my
Yeah, every
gosh.
time.
Thanks for nothing. This is exactly what I want, though.
You get to flip over
This
to
is what
Carol.
I'm talking about. Like, I get to flip over, and I was worried because I have some hero cards in my hand, but I also want to use my alter ego ability. So now,
Bam.
this is actually a great gift. Unless I have
Family
to
emergency.
exhaust.
That doesn't sound like a great gift.
You may, yeah.
Steven,
You may flip to alter
insensitive.
ego, which I will, and then I can exhaust your move from the game or be stunned and surge. I don't like being stunned. There's no way.
I don't like stun or surge.
I'm exhausted.
And does that get rid of it?
Yeah, it's gone.
Can you just rip it in half for me real quick?
All right, you're out of here. Family emergency, no more. Taken care of.
I wish that when they gave you a hero, they gave you like 10 of their obligation. So that 9 of the times you draw it, you actually can rip it up when it's over.
Well,
It'd be cathartic.
everybody would love that on comments, I'm sure. So you're saying I have to pay for 10 cards just so I can rip them up.
Yep.
It's very disrespectful. Okay, are we ready? Are we done? I need to do me.
Yeah, now you get your actual card.
Exhaustion. Exhaust your identity card. I can't.
Oh,
Surge.
yeah, that was great. It does have surge, though.
That was
so
really
exhaustion's an
fortunate.
expert card, and you would have been exhausted anyway. So that is actually very...
Can you imagine if I had stunned myself and then I would have gotten exhausted? That would have been devastating. Gang up.
Classic
When revealed
comic card
in my
right there.
alter ego, it gains surge. Luckily,
Just cruising.
I continue to be in my alter ego. Enhanced Ivory Horn. Attach this boy to Rhino. +1 attack for the rest of the game. We can spend 3 fists to discard it.
Physical. Side note, that's not going to be me. I'm not packing the physical heat
It's
here.
+1 forever. We
+1
we
what?
all attack.
Oh,
It's fine.
sweet. Do you mind if I do this?
Stay in alter ego. Yeah. Let's put it up top.
Okay, cool.
The big horn. Now we're gonna forget this.
Why don't we
but
do
it's
that?
gonna
I
look
got it.
really
I got
good.
it.
There we
Optimal
go.
viewing experience.
Yeah.
So we can see the art and we can see the plus stat, but that's all we can see.
We're still gonna forget. That's fine.
It's cool.
Like it. I like it. Look, it's like it's good. All right, did we do it?
Do you like that art? I
Yes.
think it's one of my favorites.
I love
Wait,
that
which
art
art?
so
The
much.
art on this one, it's different than most.
It reminds me of the old Warcraft 2 manual. It's like that kind of old.
Did you see the art on Gang Up?
This one? This
Yep.
like classic.
I love that.
Yeah, that's some old school.
It's the like back of the cereal box comic style. Yeah.
All right, pass the first player token. Bruh. Look, I'm just going to put it in a space in front of me. Like a peasant.
No board, sir.
All right, take turns in player order. I can play my cards. Okay, action. Choose a player to draw 1 card. I'm going to choose me.
No.
And I don't have to kneel for that. Okay.
Man, Pepper Potts. MVP. MVP.
Okay. Dang.
Pepper Potts is crazy, man. Did I tell you she's crazy?
Yeah, I don't want to waste this. All right, give me a second. I'm going to have to do the thinking thing.
Dude, I'm about to be full out Iron Man. It's going to be great. You know what? I take everything I've said about Iron Man back. I'm having a great time right now. I was wrong.
So happy for you. Okay, I'm going to flip to hero. Even though I'm sitting down.
You got your card, right?
Did anyone ever figure out if Birdman is powered by the sun? It's bothering me. I'm
No,
almost certain
but they
that's
confirmed
true.
that Superman was.
No.
Yeah.
What?
Earth's yellow sun is what gives him the power.
That's why
I thought
he's-
his only weakness was kryptonite. You could
It's
put him in a
great.
dark room and it's done?
Technically.
I mean, you got to keep him in the dark room.
For a while.
Good luck.
But if he's powered by the sun...
Have you never seen every time he's like
No.
kind of dead, they're like, throw him in space and he'll eventually recover and then he comes back?
No, I, as we've established, I don't watch anything people want me to watch. Okay, I'm going to use this ability, Rechannel. Spend an energy resource and heal 1 damage from Captain Marvel to draw a card.
Well, that seems pretty all right.
I just need to try to get... I've got a 3 resource in my hand and nothing but 2 cost cards.
That's what I was saying. But hey, it's still 2 resources. That's pretty good.
Yeah. I want to max
Hey,
efficiency, though.
hey, here's a question.
Heal and draw. What?
How many does that helmet cost?
2. In Avengers Mansion. Exactly what I needed.
Wham bam!
All right, so let's do... Now, let's do... Hold on. I got to decide. I got to make some decisions here. This...
Someone said Birdman is solar. He's a big old battery. Superman is too. Birdman's powers ran out real fast, though. Like, he
Wow.
runs out of the energy really quickly.
Okay,
Do you have a casual 5 attack to help me with over here?
I do.
What?
I really do, yeah.
I don't believe you.
I'm playing. No, I'm really going to play it. But the question is, okay, I'm going to play it like this, and this is going to be a very short-sighted play. Okay. Unfortunately, this is the way I've got to do it. So
I'm about to remove all the threat, by the way, literally from the whole board.
energy absorption and take them down. Okay, good, because I was worried about playing this chase them down to remove
No,
threat.
I'm
but
going to
I don't
remove
need
all, literally every last ounce of threat on this board is going to go.
Energy absorption, chase them down for an Avengers Mansion. Now that is a top-notch play.
That's good value.
I'm going to exhaust. Now, do you need the card?
Do you need the card?
I don't need it.
If you don't, then there's no reason for me not to get it. Let me just do the math real quick.
I mean, I got to burn 2 Cosmic Flights, which is a bummer.
I'm not. I will need it. Yes, absolutely.
You will absolutely need it.
Unquestionably need it.
Do you need me to also Ace Melter?
You can give me a card and Ace Melter.
Yes, I can do both of those things, but I can't fly for the rest of the game potentially, which is fine.
I mean, you're not going to hold on to that card for the rest of the game, right?
I'm either going to play it or I'm going to play the Kill Melter card.
Why don't you let me draw a card first?
All right. This is how heroes talk. Are we in like the control room? What is the Avengers Mansion? Oh. It's called the Avengers.
When you're a hero?
It's called the Avengers Mansion. Huh?
Can he draw a card when you're a hero?
Can he?
Yeah. Oh, for Avengers Mansion.
Yeah, he can.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
That's not
got it. All right. I was like, yeah, it just says action.
But good looking out, because we've gotten that wrong nothing but about 89% of the time on these abilities.
I don't. What was the question?
Or would you say that this is an important thing to kill?
Let me read.
I'd like to do it, just, you know.
I won't be able to kill it.
Okay.
I would
let's do it.
appreciate the
Let's do
kill.
it. Relentless Assault. Hero action. Deal 5 damage to a minion.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to pay for it with 2 Cosmic Flights.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's
so,
cool. That's still fine.
It's fine for you.
And Melter's gone.
Melter's melted.
But look, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I'm just trying to be a team player here.
All right. You ready for me to roll?
I'm done, yeah.
I'm going to start tower and get my boots back.
We're putting a lot of faith in Tony here. I feel like I'm carrying the early
Watch
game.
this turn, though. It's going to be pretty great. So I'm going to do, for Justice,
These generics look really good, actually,
which,
in play.
so here's a question.
Okay. Did you pay for it?
I am going to. I hate that I'm asking this question.
Okay. Do I need to get the book?
Yeah. So I'm going to play for Justice, and I'm going to pay for it with the Power of Justice.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Remove 3 threat from a scheme. 4 instead of I'm paying for it with a mental resource. Technically, there's only 3 out there, but this is a wild, so it could be whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
We'll just say that I'm removing the 3, so I'm going to remove these 3, and it's going to go away.
So you're saying does the 1 extra one?
Nope. What I'm wanting to know is, what is the order in which these go into my discard pile?
Oh, man.
Like I said, I hate that I'm asking this question.
I know it's important. Let's look it up. Discard. How would you look at it? Pay?
Resolve of playing a card?
Yeah. Seems like something that's important to know. Play.
Oh, you know what? Someone's catching me on this. For Justice is a hero action.
Got him.
Finally.
We'll get there.
Okay, finally got him.
Where is that? Let me back it up. I do need to know that in a second. So, let me step it all the way back. I'm going to use...
Literally, in the moment, we were talking about how we always get that wrong, and you were actively getting it wrong.
In the same way, you're like, what's that called?
Yeah.
It's the Avengers Mansion. Got it. I'm going to discard War Machine to play my helmet up here, because that's where it goes. Then I'm going to discard... Technically, I don't have to have an answer to that. I can figure this out without it.
But it's so important.
Yeah, because I have a way around it. So I'm going to use energy to play my rocket boots. And then I'm going to use Pepper to... Oh my god, I haven't even used Tony's ability yet. Stop.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
Whatever you discard to use as resources goes into your discard pile before the card resolves.
So if you're playing a card that goes to the discard pile, it would go on top. After the
Whatever you
resource.
play would be the top card of your discard
That's
pile,
right.
not what you paid for it.
Got
with.
it. That's good to know.
You spent basically here. Let me hold on. Let's cut to Professor Steven here.
Right?
Um,
We shouldn't have this. It should be called this. It's a segment.
The first thing that you do is you play the card that you'd like to play. You put it on the table.
Yep.
Okay, so in this case, it would be...
It's gone now.
It's gone
in
now.
my hand.
Then you discard cards from your hand to generate the number of resources on its cost. So discard this, generated 1. Discard this, generated 2. At the moment that you've generated your resources, the card resolves, and then it moves to your discard pile again.
Okay, cool.
I think that's how it works.
It's the best we have.
I like to make it sound official.
So I will go ahead and use Pepper while my energy is on the top. And we are going to play for Justice, so then we'll actually get rid of it. Thank you for playing the game. Then
What'd you pay for that with?
Pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Still in alter ego mode?
Oh my God, yes. I'm gonna switch. I'll flip.
Do we need a token for this?
No, hold on.
Just a little
Man.
stand that says, which mode are you in?
It's exhausting. Let's switch to Iron Man. Then I'll do it. Pepper for Justice, and this goes away.
We got there.
Sweet Lord. Then I'm going to play the Power of Justice.
My gosh, this
to
is a
play
crazy turn, though.
Heroic Intuition, so he gets +1 thwart. Then I'm going to hero action, exhaust Rocket Boots, and spend a mental resource to gain aerial. So I will. And then I'm going to hero action, if I'm aerial, do 2 damage. So I'll do here. Exhaust this, remove a threat from a scheme if I'm from each scheme if I'm aerial, so it's just going to be 1 because there's only 1 out there. Would have been cooler if I had
Yeah,
more.
we can see the potential of them. Oh, and then you can thwart for 3.
Yeah.
Wow, so you had scheming in different area codes.
So that's what I was saying. I'm going to thwart, and this is going to go away completely.
You did exactly what the strategy guide said. You can even snoop. You didn't even snoop.
I didn't even. That's what I'm saying. If you had done the thwarting last turn, it would have been a waste of time.
We've already won. I mean, the game is
all but over. Yeah, the game was afoot. Although now my hand size is 4.
Yeah.
So there's that.
But you did exactly what we said in the guide, which was try to get 2 tech out, and then your second turn, get another tech out and go to hero mode.
So 3 tech in a hero mode.
If you'd have just followed the guide, you wouldn't have made all those weird hero action mistakes.
All right, you ready to draw back up?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm going to draw my 4-card hand here.
Everything readies. Discarding a number of cards from your hand, which I have 0. And 5 cards coming at me. How's your hand? I
Small.
feel like we couldn't have really asked for a better...
Example of what was supposed to happen here.
Okay, there we are. There's the energy channel. Ooh, I'm going to have to make some bad decisions.
All right, you're first player. First thing happening here, we're going to get 2 threat, because them's the beats.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's going to
Attack
activate
me?
once per player, so he's attacking you. Here's your boost.
4 damage, so I could just like... See, now if I had attached the fly thing, I could have avoided 3. Extra 1, so welcome to 5 damage, Steven. 1,
Yikes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 8 of 12.
And mine is 9 currently. Well, +1 because of my boots.
My boots.
My boots.
Really, I mean, I'm going to go to Alter Ego next turn. Are you as well?
Probably.
I feel like you have so much control
Protection,
here
yeah.
that we can spend a turn just kind of hanging out.
Well, also, like,
Going
we
to the
can
juice
do
bar.
damage while we're in our hero and switch back over.
Yeah.
Have our hands fill up, and then he's going to threat a little bit.
I might need to recover, though, bruh.
Yeah, well, that's fair. You probably do. Okay, and then he's going to attack me. So he's at a 4 with a 2 boost.
6.
So I'm
You
gonna-
dead yet?
No.
Oh, you're like 1 away.
I have +1 health. I have 10. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 3 health. I'm fine. We could both just die here, by the way. Here's our encounter cards. You're first. Don't die. Whatever you do. What do you all right?
Deal 1 damage to each hero.
Hello.
You're just 1 away.
Hello, Shocker.
Or 2 away, right? You're just 2 away.
There's no way I'm dying. I'm Iron Man.
I mean, it's possible.
You ready for the next card?
Why is everything so scary?
Ready for the next card?
Yeah.
I'm tough. When revealed, give Rhino a tough status card. If Rhino already has a tough status card, this card gains Surge.
We won't give him a card, but we'll give him a
Tough token.
tough token.
Found it.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it on the card.
Boom.
I don't want to forget that.
Okay, so we could at least clear the tough.
Deal an encounter cutter. Each player reveals and resolves their encounter card. Pass the first player token. I'm going to steal this back. And then it's back to us.
Yeah.
So...
I'm a little scared here.
You should be. You should be.
You got any Healy stuff over there? Or you've got a Snooper is going to do 1
I am not a healer.
if you need it.
All right, so here's what I am going to do. I'm going to use... I should wait to use Pepper. What do I need now?
Okay. I think I've got some ideas here.
No, I'm going to use Pepper. All right, I'm going to use Pepper.
For 1 mental resource, create responsibility.
Yep. And then I'm going to discard a Haymaker. We're going to play the Arc Reactor.
Okay. Ooh, a standee.
It's a hero action exhaust. So
You can clear that tough. Also, I would take 1 damage to Shocker if that was something you were amped about.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you can only do 1, right?
Let's
with
remove 1 here. Let's do a damage here.
Okay. I like that.
This is doing nothing. I will... he's got 3 health, so I can go twice, essentially. I think the best thing I can do is just clear him out for you. So I'm going to attack, do 1, Arc Reactor.
You
can do 2?
Yeah, I can do 2.
All right, I want to do that.
I want to do 2.
Let's just thwart, get rid of this. I'll ready, because I want to be ready when I flip over so I can recover. Then I will flip. I'm going to use Tony's Genius ability. Money in the bank. Let's do this, and I'll put this card in my hand. Then, are you technically going to have an extra card over there you don't need?
I think I need the card.
Cool. That's really fine. I'm going to discard here to play my second Rocket Boots.
Ah, yeah. Build that suit.
I'm going to recover for 3. Build that suit. He's Iron Man.
Man, the Arc Reactor showed up just in time
I'm going to do this.
to give you a little...
I know it's ludicrous.
That's
to have
cool.
that
That looks
like
really good.
But here's what we're going to do. Then I made a mistake. Do you have a... Oh, hey, I'm going to put your
I've
helmet
got the
back
helmet.
in here.
Actually, that would be super helpful.
I'm going to hand you the helmet.
I will trade you a card for the helmet if you just want a straight up card, because I just need the money.
It's all right. I don't need it anymore.
I might not be able to use it.
It's cool.
I'm saying. Okay. Okay.
And that'll be my turn.
David has a great comment on the narrative about Tony going back into the garage and fixing his armor, basically.
Yeah,
Really cool.
that's really cool.
Okay, are you done?
Yep.
You want to snoop at all? You didn't even need to snoop.
I got threat covered. I told you. You don't need to thwart ever again. Tony's got it.
Never again.
Justice will win.
Okay, let's get a card first off.
You're going to be happy you did. You happy I let you have that card? I'm happy. Speaking of happy, we're going to get him as an ally. Or support, probably, more than an ally. Jack, we're playing Rhino on Expert. So
Random Rhino, essentially.
as hard as difficult as he can be, and we put in 2 randomized modular sets.
Okay, this is going to be a weird turn, and I'm maximizing for myself. Okay. Photon Blast. Wait, that's tough. He's tough. Hold on. That's not attack, that's damage, isn't it? Yes.
Yep.
Ugh. Glad I didn't do that. Can you imagine a no takesy backsy player on that one? Don't want that.
Not me.
Oh, but I need to play that card.
I could have poked him instead of the shocker.
Yeah. Well, the card I drew changed my plans.
You can save it for next round.
Yeah.
Does it matter that... No, it doesn't.
Okay. We can clear this. We can figure this out. We can figure this out.
Niccolo makes a great point.
What's that? Did we do something wrong?
No, it says, surely justice can't prevail if you haven't gotten Steven to watch The Winter Soldier yet. Agreed.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Why is everything so hard?
The turns in this game are definitely more complex than I gave them credit for when I was first playing and just paying for stuff and going.
It's a heck of a puzzle. Okay. Do I build for the future or for the present?
I know what Stephen Woolley's going to do.
I wish I knew. Okay, we can do that. And then we can do that.
If you guys have questions, feel free to hit me up on the chat.
Yes.
I'll be hanging out here for a minute. I'm just wanting to give Stephen time to think. No rush. We're just hanging out.
Appreciate that.
Also, thank the maker we got these new lights. It's already a little warm in here, and it would be unbearable
It would be
otherwise.
untenable. Yes, for sure. Okay, here's what we need to do. We need to do this with this, this, and this. Then we need to do
Someone said we're
this,
superheroing so well. Tony and Carol are going to have
this.
time for a date afterwards.
this, even with one resource open and a card. Boy, that really makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Are you flipping to the other side?
Yeah, I'm going
It's going to let you draw
Okay,
another card.
Yeah, that's what I was accounting for.
But it's going to let you get another card.
Okay, I actually, because I've decided not to play Photonic Blast. Dang.
Dang.
Oh, I can still spin them to put energy counters. Right on. Okay, let's flip.
We good? Wait. Okay.
I'm gonna flip. Choose a player to draw a card. I'm choosing me. Ah, another Photonic Blast. That makes it harder to choose.
Be careful on which of those are hero things.
Yeah.
The
Recover
thing
for
I'm not
4
full about.
before I just accidentally get wrecked.
That's a good idea.
Then we're gonna play Tigra.
After Tigra attacks and defeats a minion, heal 1 damage from her. So she can just attack for 2 every round if she's defeating things.
So let's get rid of this, this,
You're getting rid of the helmet?
and
Tony paid for that with good money.
let's
kidding.
do it like this. Let's do these 3. Photonic Blast, Helmet, and Mockingbird is gonna play a Helicarrier.
So Tigra's gone. So you now have the Helicarrier and the Avengers Mansion out.
That's
You're
what I
rolling.
mean. I think we're gonna just do for the future here. So Mansion, Photonic Blast, Emergency for Tigra, and then I will play my energy channel to get that started.
Very cool.
I wanted to try to pump it up, but alas, it's not gonna happen. Tigra is gonna do 2 damage to Shocker and heal 1, so we'll take no damage.
Seems pretty good.
And I believe that's all I can do.
Great.
Ding, ding, ding.
We have
ding, ding, ding.
a serious board set up here.
Yeah, but we've also got a tough Rhino with a horn, and we've got a lot of scheming about to happen.
I have threat under control.
Yeah.
So some questions that came through while you were walking through your turn. Are we ever going to stream a 3-player game in the future? Do we think the game will be easier with more players? I don't think it necessarily
It's
gets
not
easier.
easier.
You see a lot more encounter cards, so the combination of things that can come out, or like randomly a turn we get 3 side schemes. Just like, bam, there it is.
And I think that's offset by the synergy that 3 players can bring to the table if they're working together well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. The hardest thing about 3 players is just the cameras. It's just very difficult to do a 3-player shot that's actually works, especially in the small space that we're in.
But what I can promise is that I'll play plenty of 3-player going into like podcasts and strategy guides and stuff, so we can at least speak to it.
Yeah.
We only played a couple of games up front at Gen Con with 3 people, and so that your first games aren't ever going to be great experience doing it. So
We just can't find anyone else who wants to play around here. All right, are we done?
someone's saying Tigra should take a damage. There was no damage to heal, and the last thing that it happened.
Oh, that's totally right. That's totally right, yeah. So it says after Tigra attacks and defeats a minion, heal 1 damage from her.
Yeah.
So I think you do the damage from attacking, and then the after stuff triggers.
Okay.
Actually, I'm going to look that up. Can you manage the board while I am otherwise engaged?
Yeah, I'm just reading questions at this point. They're actually starting to come through. That there's a little delay, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a thing. So.
I'm going to draw up while you're looking
Okay,
at stuff.
cool. So what were you asking me to do? Manage the board?
Yeah.
Hang
I'm going to
out?
look up like the...
I'm gonna draw up as well.
Ooh, that's a good turn I've got coming up.
All right.
Yeah.
Man, the hits just keep on coming.
The hits just keep
All
coming.
right, so I'm just going to start walking through the villain
Yeah, please
stuff.
do.
I'm the first player.
Please
so,
do.
First thing, we're going to put 2 threat on the scheme or a threat for each player on the scheme. Then the villain is going to activate once per player in player order, so he'll go against me first. I'm in alter ego mode, so he's going to scheme. His scheme of 1, got a boost of 2, so we're going to put 3. So we're at the most we've had out here. On the threat, Steven is also in alter ego mode, so it's going to scheme again. He's going to get +1, so Rhino's going to scheme for 2. So let's go ahead and put this here. So now we are at 7. That's halfway to the...
Wow, that really happened. You sure you got
Yeah.
that under control?
Yes, I'm good, man. Tony's ready to party. And then the next thing we do is we deal an encounter card for each player. So we're gonna do that, and I'm the first player, so mine will resolve first. I'm gonna draw. Hydra Mercenary, 0 scheme, 1 attack, 3 health. It has guard. While he's engaged with me, I cannot attack the villain. I'm gonna go ahead and do your card as well.
Thank you.
For that. Hard to keep down. Revealed. Rhino heals 4 damage. If no damage was healed this way, this card gains Surge. So we will add 4 damage counters here. I'm missing.
What do you need?
Yeah. Couldn't find my token. And then that's that. Deal resolved. Pass the first player token. So I'm going to pass this over to Carol, also known as Steven. And we're back around. So whenever you find the rules, I'll answer questions.
All right, so here's the thing. Okay.
So David says Tigra must always take the first damage, then she can heal it before taking another damage. Otherwise, she heals after death on the 3rd wound.
Let me read to you what the rules say.
All right.
Let's do ally. During a player's turn, them using a number of allies they control to do stuff. After an attack using an ally resolves, there is often consequential damage that must be dealt to the ally. This damage must be dealt directly to the ally. So that says after an attack, consequential damage is dealt to the ally. This says after Tigra attacks and defeats a minion, heal 1 damage from her. Is that the same framework? Are those both occurring after an attack? One of them is after an attack and one is after Tigra attacks. Because if they're both happening after the attack, first player decides the resolution order.
Which would then make me think you could take the damage.
I could take the damage, the after attack damage first, and then the after attack response second. Both of them.
It also means that when you're at 2 damage, you could heal first and then take the damage.
Yeah, which does seem a little weird. But I don't know. I didn't write the rules. I'm just a reader.
Yeah, I'm but a reader.
We'll play it like we can't do that. Probably that's the way they've been playing it on the FFG stream.
Yeah,
would
that's
be my guess.
I don't think it's going to have a major.
Oh no! Here, look at this.
Would you look at this?
The resolution of ability types is mandatory. Constant abilities, when revealed, when defeated, forced abilities, boost abilities, and keywords. So maybe this is not a response that's being triggered to take that damage.
Interesting. Okay.
We need a chart, Zach.
A chart?
We need the timing chart.
All right, I'm gonna go. You're first player, so I can't go.
I'm going. So can you give me a rundown of what happened here? Things got worse.
He schemed.
And you've got to.
And
Why do you turn your guys towards the enemy? I don't understand that.
I'm used to being friendly to my opponent and letting them read the cards.
So you do 3 damage. So if I can do 1 there, and Tigra could do the hit there.
I like that you're just maximizing your cards on the table. He's obviously not your problem, but you're like, then Tigra could come in and get the
I'm just trying to find value.
I know. You're just searching for the value. You and Eric would get along well.
I'm gonna take a card. Is that okay?
Yeah, you do what you want, man.
Do you need one?
No. Iron Man is self-sufficient.
Do you still not need one?
I mean, I always take one.
I'm gonna take another one if you don't need one.
I mean, do you need it?
It depends on what it is.
It's a good point. I'm fine.
I'll just take it.
Yeah,
How about
go
that?
for it.
I'll just take that.
I'll remember that.
All right, let's flex this out a little bit.
Now, something to think about is recovering and then flipping.
Mm-hmm.
Because like her attack is only going to do 2 or 3, but healing 4 more right now is pretty good.
It is pretty good.
if you need to get over to hero mode to play your cards.
It's 100% right.
Because I think that's what I'm going to be doing. But I get a ready as well because I got the arc ready.
I might be able to pull something out here.
Proof that I have a heart.
Except for that dang tough. Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna send Tiger on Rhino. This guy doesn't matter, right?
It's fine.
Deal with that.
You don't have a way to poke him?
No.
Isn't that funny? That tough's still there.
All right, dude. I'm gonna do it like that then.
Whoa, some big comments coming in.
Big comments. Is it about the framework? About the attack?
Without the chart, the LTP says it's the fourth step that the damage is resolved for an attack. Fifth and last is deal consequential damage.
Okay, so consequential damage is a special thing, essentially.
Thank goodness it is.
I wish somebody had told me in the rules. Maybe they did. Where did they pull that from? The LTP? What's
Learn
the
to
LTP?
play. Learn to play. Not the rules reference guide, but the
Oh, okay. They did tell me that.
LTP guide.
I was just in the wrong place. I was in the advanced section. I need to be in the beginner section. All right, Carol Danvers has recovered because I'm worried. Then I'm going to flip
To Super Saiyan mode.
to super mode.
She does look cool.
I'm going to spend X energy resources to put X energy counters here. I'll spend 1 resource to put 1 energy counter.
All right.
I'm going to do it again.
Couldn't you do that all in the same action? Spend X
It's not
resources.
nearly as exciting, though, is it? I'm going to do it again.
This is pretty exciting.
I'm charging up. I mean, like I said, I'm powered by the cosmos.
She's kind of like the Super Saiyan of the universe. That's how I feel about it.
8. How much do I have to do?
Did you get rid of that tough yet?
I'm going to do it again.
All right.
Can you imagine, like, discard a resource or an upgrade, discard all your upgrades kind of thing? They're going to do that at some point. It's going to
Imagine if
be
you had one of those 3 lightning energy cards,
devastating.
by the way. That's what you really need.
Yeah. I could charge that puppy right up.
Yep.
Could I not?
Could I not?
You know what? Instead of doing this, instead of charging up, I'm going to spend it to heal 1 and draw a new card.
That seems good.
Because I think I could get a better one.
Like if you drew the 3 right then?
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is fine. This is fine. And then, oh my gosh, it's going to be great. Helicarrier. And a 2 from Genius. No, wait, not yet. Okay, Tigra, remove the tough.
Yeah. Someone was asking, by the way, our opinions on, and that flips to Tsui.
Yeah, thanks.
Someone was asking our opinions on this mat. And the funny thing is, I think they were pitching this as 2 to 4 players.
No way. No way. Can you even imagine?
Someone on the thing said, that board mat is way too small.
Yeah, maybe the enemies only. But no.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No. Okay,
I mean,
now
the mat's almost not big enough for Iron Man.
Helicarrier plus Genius for a big ol' uppercut. 5 damage to the enemy.
All right, I'll take that away. See, look, the henchmen are going away. It's cool. I like that a lot.
Now I could throw this out for 6.
You don't need to spend that yet.
Okay. I could also keep building it. Then, you know what? I'm just going to waste a lot
Great.
of resources. These are all cards that you could have had, basically.
Thanks, Steven.
You're okay with that, though, right? Hey, here's what I'll do. Check this out. Oh, man, it works. Chase them down in Avengers Mansion to give you some combat training, buddy.
All right.
Train with Captain Marvel. I don't need a suit. I'll just show you how to fight the old-fashioned way.
That's right. I like it. I can picture that happen in the movie. You're out of cards?
I'm out of cards. I maximized my turn.
Let's do this. Tony Stark, Futurist. Look at the top 3. I get to put 1 in my hand and discard the rest.
Yeah.
Someone's asking, does guard prevent you from attacking Rhino?
It just says you. It's got to refer to Zach.
It's me, the player. Yeah.
It says while this minion is engaged with you, you cannot attack the villain.
Yeah. Actually, there was a Discord that was a huge discussion, and it's like, I read through the rules, and it was like, you has to be you, the player.
It has to be you, the player.
You, the player.
It doesn't say like you all.
That's
y'all.
correct. Y'all.
While y'all can't attack.
Y'all come back now. All
Let's
right.
make this into a true Tulsa, Oklahoma stream, shall we?
We did it.
Y'all joining us for
All
Marvel
right,
Mondays?
let's do
It's a real thing.
this.
I say it.
I'm going to
Not even
use
as a
Stark
joke.
Tower to put these gauntlets back in my hand. It's very synergistic. I'm going to use...
Don't want any.
I'm going to pay 4 for an Avengers Mansion.
Finally,
I'm going
you decided to come.
to use it to draw a card. What?
Can you do something about this? We're at halfway through lose.
I'm working on it. We're going to get there. Let's...
What do you get? How do you remove? What do you use to remove? Oh, the helmet. You
Well, the
remove 2
helmet,
from the
and I
aerial?
have 3 thwart right now, and I get to do it twice. So
Mm-hmm.
that's 7 right there. Not even counting this.
You've also got a big 2 attack from my combat training. Don't sleep on that.
Which of these is more important right now?
Oh, and you've got Pepper Potts over there too. Could you? No. No. Yeah, no. I was going to ask if you could pump my energy channel.
Let's
up,
do
but
this.
There's no way.
Let's go Pepper. I was hoping to get a 2, and I didn't draw them ever. So I'm going to discard a Helicarrier. We're going to play the other gauntlets. Then, for my next trick,
You're suited up fully, aren't you?
I am very suited up. Yep.
Chest, head, arms, legs.
It's all there.
You got an amulet?
I think there's one more somewhere. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's one more, because you can get to 7.
What do you do? What does the suit have?
I don't know.
Is it like a...
It's the Mark something. Oh, it's in my hand. Mark 5 armor. Whoa, what's that? Let's flip over to Iron Man.
All right, we're taking 2 attacks at +1. Can you discard for the horns?
No, I don't have that kind of
I probably should have done that.
business going on. I am going to discard this piece of armor to go aerial. I love that idea. We'll exhaust this to remove 1.
It's only 1? Isn't it 2 if you're aerial? Oh,
No, it's
each
from each,
scheme.
yeah.
Oh, bummer.
I'll exhaust this to do 2 damage. I'll exhaust this to do 2 damage. 1. Take this away.
I got it. You can keep the magic going. I want to stay engaged.
Then I'm going to thwart for 3. 1, 2, 3. And
Wow,
then-
how'd you... Oh, you just did it normal.
Yeah. And then I'll arc reactor to do it again. So remove all of this. Because I get it ready. Go. I'm not attacking.
What?
Oh, that's right. These gauntlets have to hit him first. Their attacks.
Oh, yeah.
I thought they were dealing damage. So I'll do a 4 here instead. And we'll
Okay.
put 4 back here.
All right, I got it.
Here's your 10.
Yeah.
So it should be a 13.
Happening. How
Then
disappointing. Look at him looming in the distance. Like,
just waiting to beat us
bring it
up.
on, guys.
And then that'll be it. So I'm going to ready all these cards. And we are set up. This is crazy. That's a board state.
That's it.
My hand size is now 6. I did
Man,
it.
Iron
I
Man
made
is
it.
a mess on the board.
Yep.
Does that bother you?
I was sitting here thinking that we need to make a giant Iron Man board that has a slot for every piece of this armor. Because I think that would be awesome.
It would be awesome.
It would be the most expensive thing we've ever done.
Do Iron Man players have a lot of money, you think?
I mean, they are Iron Man, you know? Like,
Rich. Tony Stark's rich.
that's what I'm saying. Like, you either got the money to play Iron Man or not. I mean, if you don't, get out of here.
Oh, man, look at this hand, though. You guys, you need to look at this hand.
Oh, my hand size is 7. Even better.
Oh, yeah, I drew 1 too many, actually. Great. Look, all energy resources.
Oh, you can load up. But isn't there a cap on that?
Yeah, 5. I can drop 10 damage, basically, guaranteed next turn.
By the way, next turn is going to be wild.
Can you do 3, you think, with your combat training?
You have, dude. I think we might kill his second stage on this
Okay.
next round.
I believe.
If,
like that.
As long as we don't get messed up right here. Okay.
Threat. Man, you cleared all that threat. Look at you. You are really coming around, Justice.
You have an ally over there that can block for me in a second?
You specifically, yes.
Great.
I guess Tiger's just going to do nothing this game. Cool. All right, heroes attacking me with a boost. 1. Vibranium armor, yikes.
So he's
nasty.
hitting you for 5?
Yeah. He swings like a truck these days.
He's a fierce thing. Can you block for me?
Yeah, it's that horn. I've got to because you've left yourself in a vulnerable position.
I mean, I have 6 health left.
All right, Rhino's attacking you. I'll defend with Tigra.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, she's going to the...
+2, so he's hitting for 6. Would have
That'll
killed
you?
Yeah.
Just goes to show you what friends are worth.
See, I play with heart. I didn't do the math on that turn, and
That's
I
true.
stayed in hero mode just because I felt like that was the right thing to do.
Now, watch out for the Rhino attacks card coming up here. All right, encounter cards, you ready? Under fire, Surge, reveal the top card of the encounter deck.
So you reveal the top card, and also it surges.
Reveal my set-aside Nemesis minion and put it into play. Okay. Engage with me. Jan Rog is here.
And the side scheme?
Side scheme, put it into play. Shuffle the rest into the encounter deck.
I got you.
And then I still have a Surge card.
Ooh, and they get shuffled in first.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have anything?
Forced response. After your attacks, place a threat on the Psyche Magnetron. It's got 3 threat on it. Let's go ahead and account for that, shall we? Place an additional 2 threat when it's revealed. So let's do 1, 2. And then it's going to give us an extra encounter card. Luckily, we've already dealt him this turn.
That's right. So that was your surge card.
Here's my Surge. Thank you. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each friendly character.
Okay. We can handle that.
Luckily, Tigra, if that had come out in the wrong order, she couldn't have blocked. It would have been...
I would have had to block.
That would have never happened.
All right. Ready?
Yes.
Ooh, another Hydra Mercenary. When he's engaged with me, I can't attack.
I don't like those guys.
It's okay. Trust me. We're about to lay down the heat.
Okay. I can do 3 pretty easily there as well.
All right. Pass the first player token.
All right, cheers.
And then we're off to the races.
That actually works really nicely, doesn't it? It looks good.
All right. Let me do the math before we get crazy here.
Okay.
What?
Don't you think this looks really good? The first player token? It's super clean, right?
Sorry, I got real in the zone there. I'm on a mission. I want to kill Rhino this turn. Yeah, it does. I like the red myself. It was a weird green color for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, John.
I'm taking.
Yeah, clearly the weirdest color. Green. Do we want to talk about our capabilities? Like, to decide what we want to do?
You don't just want to Leroy Jenkins this stuff?
I'm also totally fine with that. I've got a reduction and an extra card, and potentially flipping down to an extra card.
Well, so here's what I have.
If you're in a tight spot, let me know.
I can get a card back from my discard pile, which I will. I can double the resource of something, and I can draw a card.
So that also means, like, oh man, that's pretty fascinating. That's a tremendous amount of, you don't need anything from me.
That's what I was saying. And I have some serious heat in my hand.
Don't forget you have to kill this thing.
Yeah, one of my little...
I mean, you're in suit mode, dude. You're like...
The real thing I need right now is a mental energy, which is what this is for.
That's what Pepper's doing. Honestly, this Iron Man deck probably needs 3 first aids, because you want to stay in suit mode. And if you could pay right now for heal 2, I think you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I think I would.
Write it down.
Write it down. All right, I'm going to draw with Avengers Mansion. Let's just start there. See what we get. Not helpful.
Consider first aid with Iron Man. Really with anything that's going to stay in the...
All right.
Turn. Why are...
Phones. How do they work?
Well, it's just like we can figure out how to launch rockets and stuff, but my phone won't turn correctly.
All right, I'm going to start tower, and we're going to put my Mark armor back in my hand. Mark 5. All right, so here's what I'm going to do. You ready for this? This is actually pretty awesome.
I'm not paying attention at all. Give me just a second.
Oh, man.
I do want to see it. Okay, hold on.
Sean says, I take it all back. You're all heart, Zach.
Consider first
and
aid.
then Daily Fatigue says he's got 45 total life left. That's a lot to burn through in one turn. Mark my words.
Really?
Here comes the juice. You ready?
Do you know if I have more than 1 energy channel in my deck?
I assume.
Why?
Because it feels right. Heart. What's the heart of the
All right,
cards?
go ahead, go for
I think
it.
you have 2.
Then I may draw another one if I... Okay, go for it.
All right, so what I'm going to do, this is crazy,
Oh,
the
yeah?
efficiency of what's about to happen here. I'm going to spend 3 physical to get rid of the horn.
Oh my gosh, you're a champion.
See? And I'm thinking we're going to do 45 damage here anyway.
That's unbelievable.
But that puts that 2 on the top of my deck, which is important. So I'm going to Pepper Pots here to use it again. For justice,
Pepper pots.
let's remove 3 here.
So good.
And then I'm going to... I need to keep that. I need to pay for these.
Wow. Do you remove 3 from the psyche?
Yep. I'm going to get to skipping.
You just keep dropping your armor. That's why you're always almost dead. It's 'cause
Actually, you
you're
know
not
what?
getting
I'm not
plus
gonna.
6 hit
I'm not gonna do
points.
that yet. I want to keep looping it. It's my mental. It's what lets me fly.
Looping Tony over here. Someone playing Looping Star.
Looping Chewy. That's so funny, actually.
That's when I had a lot of questions about the future of X-Wing, actually, in that very moment.
That was the moment it hit.
It's like, well, the community is great,
All right, let's do this.
but this game is not.
You ready for this? I'm gonna play a Repulsor Blast
Some of the more difficult commentary I've done.
for 1. Oh wait, no, hold on. I know the problem. I see now. Okay, why did I want to do it in this order? Gosh, it's complex.
I know, it actually, the web entangles
Yeah, because
you
I
in a
need
very
to deal with this
frustrating
guy
way.
first.
This is actually worth thinking about, because I think there's going to be some people who have the classic kind of analysis paralysis thing going on. Is that what they call it? I think the board gamers call it that. And it's going to be frustrating for some people. Where
The
it's
options that are-
like there's a 4-player game and some guy's going back and forth, and it's like, can't you just,
But I think that's why it's important that the people you choose to play with, you enjoy being around.
Yeah.
Because I actually like the downtime. Like when you're figuring out your turn, luckily I have the stream to interact with
Mm-hmm.
here. But even a third person means that we can just chat while
That's
you're
true.
figuring your thing out.
We do that in
Yeah.
Arkham a lot.
Yeah. It's
You-
just very social. I mean, it's
Here,
So-
I'll monitor chat while you're...
Zach,
Yep.
can you read Stark Tower? Particularly the bolder words.
Is it going to say alter ego?
Oh my gosh.
Why?
All right, let me put it back. I can't do that yet. Or ever.
Wait, yep, okay, yep. At least everything else was clean. I thought we were going to have to reverse that whole thing.
No.
Do you know how often this is going to happen?
All the time.
I'm going to write it down again, all bold. I think the first chapter of the entire strategy guide is just, are you in alter ego or hero? Read the cards.
Ryan Roper. Yep, Zach is so good at ignoring action restrictions. It's a talent of mine.
Not exactly a rules guy.
I need a mental energy, though.
See, because it felt great, is the thing. It was a heart-based...
All right.
I looked up Namor, by the way, Jonathan. It's actually empathy with marine animals exclusively. I figured it would have been a little stronger if it applied universally.
Oh, yeah.
But he can just feel what marine life is
For
feeling.
fish and mammals.
Presumably. It said marine life. So, I mean,
Crustaceans?
I don't know, would like a good swimmer be considered marine life?
all right, here's what we're going to do. You don't have extra cards to give me, right?
I can.
I mean, do you need it?
I haven't even looked. I mean, I don't even
Can you give me
know.
one card?
Hold on, I'm writing all caps here. Alt ego.
Daily fatigue, that's Zach's in-game power as a superhero. Ignore all action restrictions. By the way, the character that comes out that says you can do alter ego and hero stuff all at the same time, done. That's what I have to play.
Wouldn't that be maybe a Thor or something that is hard to like kind of discern what the alter ego? Do you want a reducer or a card?
I particularly need a card,
One card.
and I hope that it's the right energy type.
You can look at your entire deck and probably figure that out.
That's not worth the time. It was not right. It's fine.
Can I have it back? Then?
Nope.
Great.
This is the risk we took.
Oh, I've got Jan Rog here too.
All right, let's do this. I'm going to discard here to play an interrogation room. After I defeat a minion, I can exhaust it to remove a threat from the scheme.
That's a good.
So then I'm going to attack for 2 into the Hydra Mercenary with Iron Man. I can't do that because all my cards. I'm going to use the gauntlets to get rid of them. I'm going to use the gauntlets.
Just standing back up while you're at it. You know, you're gonna do it.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'll stand with the iron.
Makes me uncomfortable.
I'll do another gauntlets here for damage. I'll remove a threat here. I'll use this to remove
You're not
another
aerial?
threat.
Oh, you don't have the mental.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, man, you
It's
can't
so
fly.
bad.
What's wrong with you?
I still am ready, so I have a lot of things to go here. I defeated a minion, so I can remove a threat. See?
I could do a couple of damage. 2 damage to this guy would be particularly good, because then I could whack him with Captain Marvel.
If I want to attack over there? Yeah, I might do that in a second. Let me do my crazy attacks real quick. You ready for this? It's
Yeah.
gonna be Wildcats. I'm gonna
I don't need
use.
that, just kidding. I don't need that at all.
Need what?
I don't
The
need
damage?
anything
Okay,
to
cool.
happen here.
I'm gonna play Repulsor Blast, so it costs me 1. I deal a damage to the enemy, and then I discard the top 5 cards of my deck and deal 2 damage for each. So this is actually a really cool interaction. I'm gonna run out of deck.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is when I do that, I get an encounter card. But this doesn't resolve until encounter cards are resolving. So that's just gonna hang out there. So 1, and I'm gonna shuffle up to get 5 more.
The board over here is making me so uncomfortable right now. It's like I'm having to fight. It's like
My board?
there's too much stuff, and like this is being played. Why is it here? This is being played right now, and it's like
I don't know where to put it.
Do we need to make covenant walls?
yeah. Can I get a barrier?
Part of the problem is I can't go this direction because of my computer.
So you're anything that's a lightning bolt gives you 2 additional damage. So you're doing 1, which you already did, right?
Mhm.
Did you already mark it?
I
off?
marked it.
Okay.
Marked it 8.
And this is your last deck card, technically.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put it on top, and I'm gonna
Put him
discard
here, yeah.
top 5. So 1,
Oh yeah, you got a lightning.
2,
Not a lightning.
3,
Lightning?
4. Does wild count?
Yes. It can be any resource.
5.
Are you serious?
So that's 8 damage. So we're gonna go down
Wild has to count,
to 3.
Doesn't count on Hulk.
but it technically doesn't. It probably doesn't count. No. Printed. It says printed
Great.
lightning resource.
All right, so that's 6. We're great. Cool. So that goes. Then, as my last trick,
Help me out there.
we're gonna go ahead and just do it again.
Oh. So wait, what if you overdo it? Would you waste a lot of damage, wouldn't you? Because it's all in one framework.
Yep.
It wouldn't flip, yeah.
I'm gonna do it though. 1, 2, 3. Come on, come on. Not gonna overdo anything. For 4, down to 1 health.
Did you already get the one from Repulsor
I
itself?
didn't. So I just knocked him.
You just
right
knocked him out.
on the dot. Dancing. All right. So stage 2 is defeated. We're going to stage 3. So he goes from 1 scheme to 1 scheme. 3 attack to 4 attack. Toughness. This character enters play with a tough card. When revealed, stun each hero.
Ah, why? Dude.
I didn't know. There's tough.
Had you already used Iron Man for the...
I haven't used my second.
Okay.
What does stun do?
I'll get you on stun. When you attack, you don't.
So I'll just... Oh, no. Actually, let's get smart.
Now you're thinking. That is a great idea.
Yeah. So instead, I'm going to flip.
Well, you're going to be stunned forever. I mean, the first time you want to attack with Iron Man,
Well, all these
gonna-
attacks count.
that's true.
So I have a bazillion attacks.
Yeah.
But I'm going to flip because what this is going to let me do, let me make sure.
Here, listen to this. The next time this character would attack, does anything labeled an attack
Yeah.
count?
I think so. It
Okay.
cancels the next attack that I do.
Kind of like Tough, where any damage... Okay, so...
So now check this out. I'm going to use Futurist. Look at the top 3 cards in my deck.
Does it say Alter Ego on it?
I'm in my alter ego, so I hope so.
Let me look at stunned and try
And
to
I'm going
make
to put a
sure.
card in my hand. Then, now because I'm in alter ego mode, we use Stark Tower.
This all is looking pretty good.
To put the Mark
Somehow I
Armor
feel
back
like-
in my hand.
Stun.
You can't reduce the cost of something for me, can you?
Attack or use an attack ability. Yes, I can. I've got the Helicarrier.
Do you need it?
Well, if you want my turn to be basically just like leaving the room. Yeah, I can do it.
All
Bring
right,
it on.
great.
I'm a team player.
So I'm going to use energy plus that discount to play my Mark Armor
Nice.
on Tony, so I got plus 6 health.
Okay.
Now I'm done.
So you're at 15 health total? 9 plus 6?
Plus 2. 17. Yep.
Okay, so you're the boss man now. I'm glad you got rid of that horn. That would have been a real...
Yeah, see, it's teamwork,
Bummer.
making the dream work. That's it. I used pretty much every card in my deck. that
All right,
round.
great. Okay. Okay, okay. Oh man, this stun is a real pain. Hero action attack, hero action attack. Those are all attack, attack. Okay. Okay.
Look at this. Hold on, I'm just going to take a picture. This is hilarious.
I'm going to discard this emergency to use rechannel, spending the lightning energy resource to heal a damage and draw a card. So 2 goes to 1. I draw a fresh card.
Nailed it.
Ooh, nice. Okay. I think I'm just going to burn her attack. Hey, can you set his health for me?
Oh, yeah.
32, if you would.
Don't mind if I do. I'm going to get that 20 out.
Yeah. Okay, let's do it just like this. I know I want to do this and this, so I'll put that there. I will do this here.
If you guys have any questions, hit me up in the stream. Happy
I'll
to
do
answer them.
that and that. And
So really what I did by using these is that I cleaned your turn way up.
Thanks.
So he's only at 32. Can you do 32 damage here?
I can get close. No. Not at all. All right, so I'm going to unstun. Thanks for that. I'm going to play a Relentless Assault to deal 5 to a minion, favoring it with my 2 energy. So I'm going to do 5 to Yon Rog, and you're gone.
Bye, Felicia.
I'm going to... I'm gonna take a chance. What's up?
I forgot to recover with Tony. I had my second action I never used.
You didn't use it?
Because I got stunned.
Oh yeah, because you futuristed, you flipped over, you futuristed, you Stark towered.
Yeah.
I guess you may as well recover.
With my 17 health. I'm not exactly worried about it at this point.
And then I'm going to play an Alpha Flight Station.
Okay. What is that madness? That looks awesome.
It's going to cost me 1, which I'm going to spend with a TAC team. I'm going to flip to Alter Ego. I'm going to choose a player to draw a card, and it's going to be me.
Yeah, not me.
Exhaust it, discard a card from my hand, and draw 2 cards if I'm Carol Danvers, only 1 if I'm in normal mode. So I'll discard here and draw 2.
You don't want another Helicarrier? Man, you were maxing out this turn.
Yeah. Do we need to remove threat? No. Do we need to do this? No. No, don't need to do that either. Pump and pump on energy channel. Let's go to 4. And I'm going to actually peel a couple more of these boys.
Oh, you're just loading that thing up.
I'm loading it up, yep. And then
so next round's kind of a round, right? All right, so I'm first player. I'll go ahead and start walking us through. Threat on the scheme, so we're going to 2 per player. He's not even getting close. The villain activates once per player in player order, depending on what we're doing. So we're both in Alter Ego.
Hold on, I got to take an extra.
Yeah, I got to do all this stuff too.
I got to take this boy because I just ran out of deck.
I also need to draw my hands. All right, so I place the threat. Then he's going to interact with us, so he's going to come after me first. He's going to scheme. He's not much of a schemer.
No, I feel like that's our greatest asset.
Yeah, he's more of a damage cat.
I think you do Stevens first, technically.
What is this? Why is this here?
Oh, he gets the card first.
Mm-hmm.
He already got his card, though. Right?
Yeah, but resolving it, right?
We don't resolve these till the end of the turn.
Oh, even for the reshuffle?
Yeah, you just get it. That's what I was
Isn't
saying
that
earlier.
crazy? So you
get
deal
the
them,
card,
you resolve them
but
in the same time you always resolve.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
encounters.
it's way cleaner. I think it's way cleaner. Okay, so he's going to scheme against me. He's at a 1. He got a boost of 1, so he schemes for 2. And that's going to drive you crazy.
Oh my gosh,
I'm going to
thank you
fix
for
it.
recognizing that.
Got it. So then he's going to scheme against you.
Going to kill you. What do you got? Drop it on me.
Take that. I need a second. Oh!
Uh-oh, boost! If the villain is making an undefended attack, he's not.
Nothing. So he schemes for 1.
Place 1 threat on the main scheme. It's not an attack if you're scheming, right?
No, it's not an attack.
Okay.
All right, so then we each get assigned a card, which we each got a bonus card because we ran out of deck.
A bonus card.
Bonus. So I'll reveal mine first.
We could lose here, by the way.
Not possible.
Absolutely.
When revealed, give Rhino a tough status card. If he already has tough, this card gains surge.
Ah, thought we were going to get a free one.
That'll go on the bottom of my stack. I'll reveal this one next. Tiger Shark. Just reading the card. He's awesome.
Tiger Shark.
Look at that thing. Tiger Shark, 1 scheme, 3 attack with a special ability, 6 health. After he attacks, give him a tough status card. It's pretty crazy.
See, like it.
And then I get
Why?
Also, look how cool he is.
Why is he here? What is he doing? Who's he looking at?
There's a game that I do this for.
I hope it's not this
Why
one.
is that my natural reaction?
After Tiger Shark, okay, give him a tough side.
I mean, I know why I'm doing it. It's because the cards that are facing this way are like my cards.
Yeah.
And this is them like attacking
Okay,
me.
I can
But
get
it's
into
fine.
that. We can do it like this, like a side scheme.
There you go.
But no, it's engaged with you.
Next is Kree Manipulator. Surge. After this card resolves, reveal another card. When revealed, place 1 threat on the main scheme. Uh-oh.
See, that's what I'm talking
Steven
about.
wasn't wrong. Steven wasn't wrong. And it just gains surge. So that's all it does. Cool. My 18th card of the round. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each friendly character. Fine. I have health in different area codes at this point. All right, that's it. That's all my cards. What do yours do?
Oh, I need a card. I forgot I had that reshuffle. Oh, and it's a good one. I gotta tell you, those 2 energy cards.
The +3?
Yeah. Oh, there's not more than one of these energy channels. So the pro play would have been to try to bust it last turn, so I got it in my reshuffle. Hold on, let me make a note.
All right.
Sorry.
Ryan says, I feel for Steven. The people I play with do that stuff to me all the time. Tokens upside down and stuff. Although, you know what? You know what Steven does to me that is in the same category and for some reason it bothers me, but the token stuff doesn't?
The shuffling.
Is that I always know when Steven's been using my decks because I'll draw like 5 cards and half of them are upside down. I have no idea why.
I have no idea why I do that. Honestly, it's so out of character for me. It's crazy.
I know.
It's what makes me a human being and not a robot. Get a new channel in discard.
That's how I knew, by the way. Years into
Pile.
our friendship, whether you were a robot or not.
We all have to have those tests for our friends.
All right.
You ready for some cards? Bad stuff coming in. Whirlwind. Oh my god. See this random? That's what I'm talking about, the replayability. We are getting randomly
These are the Masters of
destroyed
Evil,
by the
dude.
Masters of Evil, and it just happened that way. We didn't know it was going to happen. When Whirlwind attacks me, also resolve his attack against each other hero. Heads up, 7-up on that one.
Say that again?
He attacks everybody when he attacks me.
Was that the game where you put your head down and your thumb up?
Yes. You never played it? You played it. You went to Chelsea.
Yeah.
When revealed, discard an upgrade or support you control.
That's easy.
Yeah, can you imagine this is my only one?
That
It
would
would
be
be
a bummer.
devastating.
We know the answer.
This isn't easy. I'm partial to combat training.
You know that's the answer, though.
But it's
What's that card?
caught off guard. Great art on that card. Really great art on that card. Terrifying, really.
David Whitfield says there's supposed to be 2 energy channels in your deck. You may want to check it. Did
Maybe
you already
I had
discard one earlier?
Maybe I had one deep on my discard pile. I'll delete my... Oh, it's right here. I drew it.
What's the name of that place where they hang out and live and like take showers and stuff? Oh, the mansion!
All right, discard an upgrade or support. I'm going to do...
It's combat training, dude.
All right, fine.
We just know the answer. You have more in your deck.
If
and
we're one off of killing Rhino, I'm going to be furious.
we're gonna bury him by 30 hit points here.
Okay. Each player reveals and resolves past the first player token.
That's yours.
Thank you. Now, we think we can kill Rhino this turn?
32.
Yep.
I can do.
I'm good for 10 right off the bat.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He is tough.
He is tough, but we can throw some nonsense at him. I've got like a haymaker or something. I literally do have a haymaker right there.
I'm probably good for a 10 to 15 out of 32.
I'm good for 25.
I got a feeling we can get there.
That's not true. Hold on, let me go back to math class. 18, 20. I'm definitely good for 20. And I've got More cards coming in.
Yeah. Well, I think we can get there. You just do as much as you can do, and then I'll finish the job.
Oh.
Just be heroes.
Yeah, just
Be heroes.
Just be heroic.
heroes.
TCG Roll says, where exactly are we on the ramp? We've ramped. Looks like this.
We've already... The ramp has yet begun. Okay, let's start out with all the things that are going to not matter yet.
32. So here's the thing, dude. This is what's cool. Pause for a second with me. You hear?
Nope.
You're just doing math. I can see the numbers crunching
Yep.
coming out of your brain. If we were playing it where as soon as we defeated Rhino, we were going to keep going, and like these villains weren't just going to disappear in front of us,
That's pretty cool.
what we do this round is different. Because like right now, it reminds me of that like...
It's Lord of the Rings, like you kamikaze at the very end.
It's like you know you don't have to live past this, so you just go and you chunk the ring into Mordor. But it adds different context immediately. It's like in my head I'm looking at it, it's like, yeah, this would be great, except for like if these were going to stay here and I was going to cut down, I don't know what the rule would be on like clearing this out. But
I kind of like the idea of that, you know. Okay, bruh. Here we go. Do I Alpha Flight Station? I feel like I have literally every card that I want. Which is, like, I don't want to discard anything. I could...
dude, this is the last round.
Okay.
Let's
Alpha
take and break
Flight,
him.
Exhaust. I'm going to discard a Haymaker
Yep.
to draw 2. Okay. It's
Can you
totally
load
fine.
that other energy handle up?
We shall see. Flip to Captain Marvel. It's hammering time.
You can heal get another card if you really want to.
Hero action. Wait, no. Tough.
That's almost real bad. Hey, give me a hero action. Can I assist you?
Yeah, hero action.
Oh, I'm not a hero. I can't do
request-
it. Devil! I caught myself. I'm getting better. Everyone watching, I'm getting better.
2 damage to the tough.
It's gone.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. Energy channel, go. 10
Charging
damage.
up. All right, I'm just going to take this 10 token. Yeah, there it is. Hulk's charging up. Down to 22.
Energy channel.
All right.
1.
You're not even going to let me attack, are you? You're just going to kill him yourself. That's very greedy.
2. 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
Energy
Coming in for another
channel,
10?
10.
I'll just flip the token here. Down to 12. There's the 20 you promised.
Do you need this Helicarrier?
Nope.
I don't need it.
I mean, I can take it later.
Uppercut for 5. Power of aggression and Helicarrier. Paying 3.
5. Man, oh man.
The perfect turn.
Just queuing it up to make me look like a... I need
I'm just...
Where's my token?
You too? You keep throwing them around.
There it
It's
is.
because
You
your board
moved it
was
over
so
here.
scattered.
No, it's because you put them over on the side of the board.
I
All right.
definitely did do that.
That's all you got?
Yeah, that's it.
Just a casual, what,
I'm going to give you my
25 damage?
Helicarrier to start the turn off.
Well, I don't know if I need that yet.
I'm bringing in reinforcements.
Wait a second on that.
All right, when you request...
Let's do Tony's Futurist.
Request Helicarrier. You can't just do 7 damage right now?
I have to decide how to do the most amount of damage. Right?
That is one way to do it.
Why we're
yes.
here.
It is one way to do it.
Let's see. I gotta get a mental energy in here to make sure I can fly.
You got to remember how to turn your boots on.
The boots and
And
the
have
cats
that brain
and the boots
energy.
and the cats and the boots and the cats. All right, let's Avengers Mansion for a card. There's that energy I needed.
Nice.
Do I have? I think I'm all out of tech. They're all just on.
Yeah, you built it. I mean, you've done it.
Do you have a helmet in your discard pile?
You are Iron Man. No, I do not.
You sure?
Yep. That card is only going to get better over time because
The
there's going to
helmet?
be more tech.
Yeah.
And it's going to get awesome.
All right. Let's see. Anything else worth doing here?
Don't forget you have combat training.
What's stun mean?
It means when you attack next, it cancels.
All right, let's flip over
Like
into
it
Iron
does in
Man.
every game.
I'm gonna attack with my gauntlets and get rid of the stun.
Done.
All right. Now, for my next trick,
I mean, you're
going
full
to-
suit. I mean,
I'm gonna go aerial mode.
yeah. So you're
Going
flying.
mobile.
Boom, boom.
All right, let's use the gauntlets for 2.
Just making sure you don't have anything that has guard, right?
No garters.
2 damage. I'll use this to remove a threat.
Thanks. Doesn't that feel nice to do
It,
that?
it does feel nice.
Just like, get off.
Not gonna lie. Get off my land. Let's go ahead and let's remove another threat with this thing so I can get rid of it. I mean, I have this in spades.
Do it.
I'm gonna haymaker for 3, down to 2. I want to see how much we can overkill him by.
Why not, here, do 2, and then I'm going to throw a new villain in. We're going to play a round where we get wrecked just to see how different it would be.
I would have done this, dude.
Oh, I know. It would have been way different. I'm
All right.
actually just kind of curious what that would look like.
I'll just attack and do 2 and knock him out. So then we would win the game.
Yes. Done.
But instead of winning the game,
We completely wrecked on Expert, by the way.
well, I think part of it was
This is the easiest one in the game. I mean,
Yeah.
Rhino's the beginner.
being on Justice was very helpful because I removed like 30 from this without like taking up my whole turn.
Choose one of these.
I mean, you should just pick the Claw, right? He's the next in the series of. So, essentially, we win the game, but exploring the idea of just continuing on to the next
What
villain.
would it look like? Let's
So
just take a
the
look.
thing for me is, I feel like inherently you have to have some rule for at this moment how to reset. Because like Iron Man fully built out,
would be bustedly good.
and like all these resources and stuff, it's not really even a challenge anymore.
Yeah.
So my kind of thinking was like some kind of like you can keep 2 or 3 cards in play, or
It started with 1, but now that you're looking at your board, you want to keep 3.
6. No, because like it depends. Do these guys stay out or they go away with Rhino?
What if the villain gets 1 card per player and players get 1 card to keep on the board?
And does it happen right now?
Yeah, right now.
And
Let's
do we
do it right
start
now.
over this turn?
No. It
Just
goes
keep
right.
going?
Keep on, yeah.
'Cause,
Because Claw
like-
shows up and it's like, because we got a new underground distribution. So let's do that. So villain will stay, and then we discard all but 1 card. And then I say we reshuffle our decks.
There's yours.
Thanks.
It's gone.
I'm going to keep my Avengers Mansion, 100%.
I'm going to keep.
Or the Alpha Flight. No, Avengers Mansion. And I think it's okay to go ahead and shuffle.
Should have used pepper. See, I would have done this whole thing.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. We all understand it. Everybody, we all.
we got it.
We're just.
My boots are
doing some
going
improv
away.
here.
My helmet's going away.
We're gonna
So
rebuild the whole thing.
basically, do I keep the ready or the +6 health?
Haley's got a very interesting idea. Maybe too late to implement it. But it's
What's that?
worth talking about.
What's the idea?
Daily fatigue. Daily fatigue bar says take extra encounter cards based on the number of cards you keep in play. That way it's a choice.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
I would take 10
Keep the
encounter
whole-
cards
yeah.
though.
Iron Man.
All of them. I'm gonna keep the +6 health because I feel like if I don't, I'm just gonna get wrecked right here.
Yeah.
And I shuffle these. That's
Yes.
what you're saying. And we need to fix this deck.
Yes. Now here's what I think we should do. I think we should. So we've got Claw in here. I think we should shuffle this up. Add it to this.
I don't know if this is right.
Take out all the Rhino cards.
Now,
That's
what I
good.
think you could do that would be fun is you could. I'm just going to go for all the rhinos here. Every time you add a villain, you could add a modular set.
Yeah. And see, we could also do it where if we hit a Rhino card, it just has Surge. Like all Rhino cards just have Surge. So like some of them would still work. Like you could attach Rhino's horn to Claw, which I think is, for me, kind of cool because they're like working together. And it's like, hey, take my horn.
Take my horn. Here you go.
And my
All right.
horn.
that's good. That's Rhino stack.
That's
Here's
the
a-
Boromir version of that. And my horn. Watch that this weekend.
Lord of the Rings? Mm-hmm. Really?
Yep.
The whole thing?
The whole thing.
9 hours
Are these all
plus?
clean?
Yeah, they're all good.
Yeah, I didn't watch the third one. First and
Did
second.
anything inspire that? Robert?
Shannon wanted to watch the first one. She hadn't really seen it. She'd seen it on various
It's one of the best
cable
ones.
here and there, but had never sat down and watched it. And she got really into Harry Potter recently, and that kind of upped her quotient for fantasy
Oh.
tolerance.
Harry Potter definitely grabs people.
Yeah, people won't stop talking about that book once it happens.
Man, the pile of cards I kept is just wrong based on the... It's cool.
All right, keep going.
All right, I assume I'm still...
Wait, hold on. Let me give you some story. The attack on the shield facility has been linked to an underground weapons network. So essentially, we stopped Rhino, but now we've learned that it's linked to an underground weapons network, and so now it's even worse. Search the encounter deck for the defense network side scheme. Shuffle the encounter deck. Reveal it. Okay. Okay, defense network coming in.
Now, it is cool because it adds a whole new element to the game. There's a 0% chance I would have ever found myself stuck in Iron Man mode at that reset.
Yes, we're all very aware.
No, I'm just saying, my hand size is 2 right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, it's problematic. I mean, but come on, this is like the low point in the movie, where Tony's getting wrecked and
I'm into it.
all is lost.
I'm into it. I'm going to die. Great.
You've got a bunch of hit points. You've got 6 plus. You've got 15 hit points. You're not gonna die, but you're gonna get attacked by a whirlwind
Yes. And Tiger Shark.
Tiger Shark. But it's fine, and potentially Claw.
The claw.
Did you start in Tony Stark mode?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're both hammered here.
You're going to just die.
When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put it into play with the first player. Look at all these cards. We're not. Am I the first? Yep. Ooh.
You were like unbelievably dead.
I'm so dead. Can you play any
Have
allies?
you used that mansion yet?
Yes. I
Great.
used it long ago.
All right, so I am going to play an ally. I'm going to pay... Nope, does not work. Yeah, that's fine. I'll discard 3 and play a Mockingbird.
I technically gave you the Helicarrier even though it left play before I took it back. So
That's-
let's just say that happened.
It wouldn't matter. We're going to do a Mockingbird. So we're going to stun someone. I don't think I'm going to stun him. His attack is just nothing.
Oh, we need to find the Immortal Claw too.
And I also need to add 36 health here.
Thanks. Immortal Claw. Is that the... Oh yeah, that's the weird one.
The claw.
The Immortal Claw. Side scheme. Claw is at plus 10 hit points.
So I'll add 10.
Yeah, just go ahead and add 10.
Flip it over. All right. So when he comes in, I get a stun, and I'm going to actually stun this cat.
Hey, if you
Yes?
if you stun Whirlwind, he won't attack both of us because it says when Whirlwind attacks me, also resolve it against each
All
other
right,
hero.
fine. Fine. You made a good point. Then
Full of them.
Mockingbird will attack for a damage.
Let's do the threat here. We are not going to make it through this deck. We're doing a lot of these things. 2, 2, 6 on this boy. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's fine.
I suppose the thing I should have kept is probably Avengers Mansion.
Let's get an acceleration token on this boy.
Just putting that out there.
No, you need those hit points. You're dead.
That's right.
Yeah, you made the right
That's-
choice.
that's good.
I think
All
we've
right.
done everything.
End of round. So then we're ready. Or we are ready. Right? And I draw 2.
Yeah, we're ready, right?
Oh, great.
I'm drawing 5.
Yeah. You're going to get so dead right here.
No way.
You've got like 4 health, 6 health, and you've got...
He's stunned. I'm only going to take 3, 4 plus boost. Are you going to be able to block one of them though? For
Not
me?
doing it. Not after that. I'm just kidding.
Are you serious? Okay,
took a
let's
damage as well.
add threat. So we're going to add 2 plus 1 because we are moving fast because of this token from this thing.
Okay.
I'll just put one
You
in
gonna put the
here.
acceleration up here?
But if I put it here, then I will not forget that it's there.
All right.
Because it's like where I want to put tokens, and it's like, hey, don't forget.
All right.
I've learned my lesson there. Okay, if I'm in hero form, the enemy attacks you. So claws attacking. Do you want to block that?
I feel like no. I'm going to block the 3 over there.
But this is 2 boost cards.
I'm willing to risk it.
Oh my gosh.
You going to defend?
Oh yeah.
Particularly good if you're just going to flip over to Carol next round.
Yeah, I'll defend if that's happening. 2, 3. I wish I had my helmet on. So 4 minus 1 is 3. So I'll take 1, 2.
We're going to make it out of the round.
3 damage. It's kind of an interesting, like, I think maybe we've got a chance.
All right.
Melter's attacking. You want to block,
I'll block. What's the special thing do?
that? You got to defend with an ally, so.
Oh, here we are.
She
But
weapons
when-
runner into play engaged with you.
That's not what that... Why are you drawing that?
Oh, right. You don't get one. Sorry, Melter.
Mockingbird's gone.
All right. She did what she had to do, though.
Yep.
Whirlwind will try to attack, will fail.
Yep.
Stunned.
Tiger Shark coming at me. Hit me for 3. So let's start
Well, you got
with
to take
3.
a claw first.
The claw. 1 with 2 boosties.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what happens.
Are you defending?
Nope. Got a star, put weapons runner into play, engage with you. Great. Hits me for 2. Let's take 2. And then
Not a problem. Not a problem.
we have Tiger Shark, hit me for 3.
Yep. Give
then
a
we
tough
have-
status card.
Yep. And then we have weapons runner hitting me for 1.
Where are my new toughs? There it is.
So we're at 10 out of 15 here on the Iron Man. And that's it.
No, then we do the bad cards.
Oh, sweet. Starting with you.
Attached to claw.
The claw.
+1, and when he damages us, we get stunned.
All right. And then I get concussive blast. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each friendly character.
It's doable.
If I hadn't kept that armor, I'd be dead.
Yeah, it was the right choice for sure. Hey, we made it out of the round. Oh, man.
If I had,
You know, I like this.
it could have gone way better.
I like this a lot.
I made very poor choices there, so I feel okay about the rules that we set out there.
I like this a lot. I think this works.
I think you can recover from this.
I think this, just that whole idea, if I was going into this knowing that I was going to keep plowing through, like if you had 15 plus enemies lined up and it was like one of those zombie levels where
You're
it's
just
just
gonna
like
keep rolling.
fight off however
Yeah,
long you can.
because like knowing that, right? I don't think we defeat Rhino that turn.
It adds some strategy to it.
I want to get him down to like 1 health,
Mhm.
and then on the next round we'll defeat him after we've used all our resource stuff up and played whatever. Actually, we would save it.
See, but you also don't want to get in a situation where like you're just farming one dude to go to like full health and get all the one card you need out and whatnot, where like the game isn't, you're just like biding time to recover.
That's where like if you have to get down to 1 card.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's just run this for a second.
All right.
This is all ready anyway. And you're the first player, so you've got 2 cards. I can give you 1 for Avengers.
That would be helpful.
Here's 1.
All right.
You can go down to Tony and
Yeah,
don't you get a thing?
I'm going to go down to Tony, but then these guys are just scheming demons. Yeah, let's flip. I'll recover 3.
I'm telling you.
We're gonna go futurist. So look at the top 3, discard 1. Or discard 2, keep 1.
It's got play. It's got play. This is kind of the situation that you like to find yourself in. You got to be squirrely.
Yeah. So then I will discard 2, and we'll play an arc reactor.
Mm-hmm.
And
Build that suit.
I will pass.
Man, I gave you that extra card, though. It's good.
Well, that's what let me draw the card that I played.
Okay. Here we go. How bad is your situation? You've You're fine. You're scheme.
How many does that need to get to flip? 12? And it's at 3. All right, we're fine-ish.
This is a fascinating little turn here.
Yeah, it's going to go okay.
I think I'm going to have to recover. Okay,
You don't have to recover as long as you're flipping.
I am. Let me spin this to heal 1 and draw a card.
Okay.
Okay, check this out. Oh my gosh, it's a perfect turn. Let me energy absorption
proud we
into
are.
Helicarrier.
Yeah, here we go. You feel that charge coming back.
Oh, but I've got to discard a card. That's a bummer. That's fine. I just won't use it.
Not technically.
I could thwart here. But we've got to clear this before we can clear from the main.
I just thought of another rule that we need to add to this.
What's that?
You could also have a certain number of heroes on the sideline. And when you die, you get a regen as the heroes, but those are like your extra lives.
That's
so like
cool.
When you run out of your 8 heroes, then you're just done.
That's really cool. I like that very much.
Isn't that fun? It feels like you're playing one of those old, like the Avengers video game.
Yep.
TCG rollout. Will this game mode be explained in the strategy guide? Here's what I'll say. It'll either be in the strategy guide or I'll make a blog post with these rules included thing. I think I love making this kind of little system.
I think we're going to lose on the thwart side of things quickly.
It's going to flip over. We're fine.
No, but like we're going to...
Next round, I can contain all of it.
I'm trying to think, do I want to flip and recover or do I want to thwart and flip? That's the question that I've got. It's nerve-wracking being this close to death. Do you not feel that as well?
I think this is the turn where you don't need to worry about the threat as much.
Okay.
We can't lose the game because he goes to the next stage.
Let's Relentless Assault, deal 5.
Yep, this is good. Wait, why don't
Alley.
you kill that guy?
It's a 6.
You don't have another damage to give?
I can, but Captain Marvel can. Attack.
Problem.
I could do that. You want to do that?
I mean, I have enough health to live, but that's going to be another 2 on you just from it being there.
Well,
So,
it's
like-
going to scheme, though.
We're good.
We're good. We're good. Let's flip down to Carol. Let's Helicarrier the Alpha Flight Station. Let's draw a card. Let's exhaust, discard, draw 2.
Man, living the dream here.
Come on.
You're basically back to where you were.
I'm getting there. I'm telling you, I play for the for the
I think
future.
I think it's the harshest on the people that build a bunch of stuff. But like picturing Cap in this mode, right? The one thing I keep is my shield. Like I'm happy about that.
I got a 2 and a 3. That's not what I needed. All right. That's it. We've both done it, right?
We have done it.
Do you want to keep going, or do you want to call it? What time is it? 4:48. Why don't we call it and then do a Captain Marvel or an Iron Man rundown?
The breakdown. Okay,
Iron Man.
so that's going to be it. Next video, we're going to be cutting the stream. We'll come back in just a minute after we take a little break. We're going to be looking at the Iron Man Justice deck and kind of breaking it down, giving a little preview of what's going to be in the strategy guide. If you're unfamiliar, we're giving a free PDF strategy guide with to anybody that pre-orders the core set from us. And this is kind of a preview of what's going to go in that.
Now, before we get there, does anybody have any questions?
Yep.
Particularly about the replayability of the game based on what you've seen here. So I think if we had about 5 villains, I would say 6. If we had 6 villains in a random stack and 6 to 12 modulars, and we could just roll off a couple of random things, smash them together, I think that you can probably do that about as many times as the average cooperative group meets up and never have to worry about replayability being a problem.
Because I'm just going to assume, like the Green Goblin comes with 2 scenarios, 2 independent scenarios in it. And then the Wrecking Crew, we don't know anything about that except for it's coming out. But if they're putting out 4 or 5 things a year that have
Like scenarios?
that have at least 2 or 3 scenarios, I mean, you are averaging about 1 a month added to your pool. But it's the kind of thing where, unlike a lot of LCGs, particularly the competitive ones, 2 years in, that wealth of cards is a struggle. Whereas I feel like in this case, it's actually all upside, which is like the catalog just gets wider. And
It's like having more comic books.
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's not really a problem
like
until you have to sell them all because they're like boxes in your basement.
Marvel
but
Unlimited is $10 a month for every comic they've ever made.
Maybe
Anyways,
they'll do that for the scenarios.
that's
Now
interesting.
we're getting somewhere.
So the thing about that though is that if the campaign, which is they haven't announced the campaign box and what's going to be in it yet at all, but effectively if they provide a way like we've been talking about of stringing these together, where like as an example, if stringing 3 to 5 villains together is a way of playing, then the way you can combine all the villains that are out in a string of 3 to 5 is thousands of different combinations.
You know, if they were smart, and I feel like
Call them out.
I feel like we may be over. Well, if you're smart, you would make a Marvel-themed living card game.
Nailed it.
There's so much speculation about the campaign expansions that they probably can never live up to what we have projected them to be at various times, various conversations. But if you handled it like essentially like the ability for a crossover series in a comic book, where like let's say it is an X-Men, I think you have to. X-Men as the first campaign expansion is really, I think, the ideal. Like, even if it's just a couple of random scenarios all in a theme and you don't get to link them together and play, through some kind of an actual campaign. If it's just like a deluxe expansion where you get all of these themes and you get a couple of X-Men to play or 4 or 5 X-Men to play and you get 4 or 5 scenarios, then cool. So you get to fight against Magneto and Juggernaut and all these guys. But if you strung them together and it said include 2 random villains from your collection in this campaign, and then that's when out of nowhere, like Claw's working with Magneto, that would be incredible to me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be cool? It's like it's like when you're reading a comic and all of a sudden it's like, oh my gosh.
Which happens, right?
Yeah, they cross over a lot.
I'm reading the most recent Captain America right now, and it's like randomly, it's like, oh, Black Panther showed up. Mm-hmm. And it's like, because they're just in the same universe.
Yeah.
So that's where like, you're almost looking at villains. I think it's one step away, and I would almost put money on this. I'm not willing to put money on it, but I'm close. In the same way that you have out of the core set the 5 modular sets that you can pair with a villain, if there's 3 or 4 villains that tell a story, but then inside of that you include 1 or 2 villains, sort of like a modular set, but like on the like higher level up, where it's like this is the same like I think about the movies that have been coming out, right? And you have Thanos. I keep wanting to call him Galactus.
I've never seen
for some
him
reason.
either.
You saw one of them. Anyways, where like, essentially Thanos is the big bad at the end who's kind of been connected in the whole time. But you have villains showing up randomly to challenge the Avengers, and you also have the Spider-Man shoot-off movie with this particular villain. And so like, it could be that one of the villains that's heavily associated, like Green Goblin, it's like, he shows up because Spider-Man's in your crew. And it's like he's just the 3rd stage of this 5-stage quest that you're on.
Right.
So I think there's so many ways to, when you start looking at these as like tools that you can use instead of like, and I think that's one of the things that Arkham is lacking right now is like the 4th pack of this cycle, the scenario that comes in there is only ever the 4th scenario in that series.
Yeah, and of note, if you don't have the first 3, it's of very little value.
Versus in 5 years from now, it's like if you have 20 villains out, and it's like you buy the Galactus box, and it's like the 5 things that lead to the Galactus thing, and then it's like literally stage 2 and 4 of this series can be any villain from your collection. You can either pick it, you can randomize it, you can base it on the heroes that you have or whatever. It's like all of a sudden the variability in what's happening.
You can just release like a PDF that says just use them this way, and that's your campaign.
So a really cool thing that I saw in a different game is Power Rangers. From Renegade, they just announced that they're doing a monthly PDF scenario. They're providing for free to everyone that plays, and it's like, here's just a way of using the stuff that you already have that is kind of a new way to experience the game and tell the story. And like this is that in spades. It has everything there to do it.
I feel like if as a community you give a week of everybody thinking about how to do a campaign, it would be solved.
Yeah.
I think we could all solve it. Just like, oh, this is the mode that we can all play now if we want.
I think that's one of the coolest parts of the cooperative style of game is that you have the core rules and you have the elements you have to do whatever you want with. Whereas like, one-on-one heads-up games, it's like, well, the most exciting part is like showing up with people who've all agreed to the same rules and we're all going to play this way. But in this case, right, it's like if you're playing with your 3 or 4 friends, someone shows up, it's fine. Hey, we're going on a 5-game thing.
We're going to try this thing.
You want to hop in or not?
I mean, how many people play a role-playing game and don't twist some of the rules, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's common.
That's kind of where the magic is, right?
Yeah, I like this.
All right, you want to hear some questions?
Any questions?
real quick?
Yeah, you got any questions? I think
Yeah.
this is, I actually, I don't even think that FFG necessarily has to create the format.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
think-
I think it will exist.
Somebody will post it on Reddit randomly, and
like,
it'll be like, oh, okay,
How many,
this is
as an
great.
example,
Board Game Geek
just
or
as an example.
live chat.
So Rhino is heavily associated with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Green Goblin, heavily associated with Spider-Man. Eventually, we'll have like 6 or 7 Spider-Man villains. So like you could literally do a solo campaign of Spider-Man versus all of his villains in a row. And it's like,
Yeah, I love that idea.
it's great, right? Okay, questions.
And Namor would do very well against Tiger Shark because he has empathy with marine life.
So he would understand his
It would be
woes.
like, just discard Tiger Shark if you don't want to.
All right, so someone says, do you think the Nemesis decks and obligations are much less annoying than weaknesses, which you have to build around in something like Arkham?
They are less annoying. They're less annoying, they're less thematic. I would say that they are not as good as the weakness mechanic in Arkham.
They're not as significant.
They're not as significant. I mean, you pretty much unless something is really crazy that's happening, 90% of the time it just means exhaust your hero. Go to Alter Ego and exhaust your hero. Whereas like in Arkham, it's like, oh, I have a random weakness and it might discard my hand, it might lose all my resources, and then I have a signature weakness that is especially crippling to exactly who I'm playing. So it's like, stunning Captain Marvel is the other part of the obligation, that's fine. But if it came out, I think the side schemes are way more like the way that weaknesses are in Arkham.
Like the Nemesis.
It's a much more interesting mechanic than the obligation. I don't even know if the obligation is adding a lot of value.
I feel like it is cool that the card I'm drawing could actually be your card. I think that's a nice little twist. But the other thing is, I get a sense that what we're seeing out of the core set is essentially the most fundamental. So even the Captain America obligation is like man out of time. And it's like, it took a half a step further into like this being a little bit different. So I think with the obligations that they could, and there's probably going to be characters that have much more significant obligations.
The mechanic itself is good.
It's there for them to do interesting stuff.
Yeah.
All right, next up, I have to, if I don't see these and then people keep commenting, it goes away. Is the Iron Man
used the chat room
breakdown
before.
going to be live? Well, it's like, it pauses for a little bit. It gives me like 2 minutes of it not moving. Anyways.
Friends
yeah,
do
the
this.
Iron Man breakdown is definitely going to be live. We'll be back with that in a minute. Would you trigger setup abilities between villain resets?
Ooh, good question. No.
No.
I think we'd grim roll it.
No, I'm thinking like, because Cap has like go get his shield thing.
Yeah, but it'd be a problem because no.
No, I just keep the shield. That'd be the card I keep.
Yeah, I was thinking Black Panther would kind of get hosed there as well.
Well, that's just how it goes.
We'll have to figure that out on
Ryan
the
Roper
format.
wants to know, when will the token pre-orders go up?
Oh, well, we're almost there. My gosh, not for lack of trying.
As soon as possible.
We've been cruising.
Because the sooner we can get that up, the sooner people can pre-order, the more we can make by the time the game comes out.
Yeah,
which
it's
is the
nothing
goal.
but good for us.
Yeah.
So we're definitely not trying to be slow about this.
But we also, it's a fine balance because we want to get it up, but at the same time, like, we want it
It's got to be awesome.
be awesome. I picture something like Arkham we made tokens for. People still buy them, thankfully, and that's years ago. So like these are tokens that potentially are going to be around for a while, and then people that use them are still using them. I see pictures all the time on social. So these are going to be on your table a lot, and so we want to make we respect that. We want to make sure that's right. A couple weeks now is worth months and years down the road. So kind of the exchange. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. Someone said they'd love to see a blog with like recommended comics to read to capture the characters.
I'd love
in
that
the game.
too.
Yeah, that is helpful. I might look into doing that.
We know some people who might be into comics.
Have they said anything about the story boxes?
Nope.
Nope, not really. Where can they pick up the playmat that we're playing on?
Probably anywhere but us. We don't sell it. It's a complete hassle shipping wise, and we'd have to change a lot of the way we operate. But you can probably find it on online retail, or you can talk to your local store too. Like it's a product that's widely available for order. But it's a weird product too because it's really good for one player.
Yeah.
You know, because like you're gonna have your encounter stuff here. Let's just
Now, if we were all sitting on the same
all of
side of the
this
table,
stuff, I guess, but like,
like,
you know, we're
it's-
not on a date.
yeah, and it's not gonna fit. The size of this is suspect.
Two is like maxed on this.
I would say if you're solo playing, this is actually
It'd be
great.
really nice.
This is a really
Yeah.
great thing. It
Is that
could
it?
also be. No, that wouldn't work. What were you gonna say?
Is that it? Question mark. You could
so-
probably do two on this.
Timothy says, "Hey, from England, have
Tim.
you played this two hands solo?"
Have not.
No.
None as long as we have four at the table.
Ryan says he'd pre-order the tokens even though we're not done. Yeah.
I hope that holds true for when they are done
Yeah.
as well.
Hopefully that remains to be the case. Yeah, like basically taking pre-orders when they're not done doesn't really do anything.
No,
'Cause
it doesn't speed anything
If we're not
up.
done, we can't start making them. And
In fact,
yeah.
it introduces a lot of hazard because things change late in the process sometimes, and you've taken the wrong amount of money, or you've
the way it's
committed to
run,
the wrong
or
amount of time. Yeah.
whatever you have.
Don't get into that. The whole industry does all of that stuff. We're not going to be the same.
I think we're good. Thank you guys so much for watching. That was awesome.
Yeah, this is great. So replayability, I think that if anyone has concerns about this, we're in a good spot. I think the game is set up format-wise to do this very well, to last years and years and years into the future. Even without new content, I think there's creative ways to use the tools at our disposal to create experiences, scenarios, stories that you want to have. And you know that if people wanted to just make their own villains and create cards and stuff for it, it's all here. So like I almost look at it like the Blizzard Warcraft 3 custom map generator. Like there's a lot of potential in this. Arkham's more rigid in the way that it wants to work, so there's a little less there. And I feel like Lord of the Rings is the same. But this is kind of wide open for exploration, and I think there's some really creative people who are going to do some really good things with it.
And I think that's part of the
And the campaign expansions.
Yeah,
I think are going to be big.
Obviously. So I think that's part of the upside of it not being such a linear story that's being told, is that it is a little less complex, but it does open up the door for so much in terms of what these can be used for. Because like we've been saying, right, the fourth scenario in the Arkham cycle is the fourth scenario in that story. So like in this case, I feel like it actually in a weird way opens up so many more doors for them. And I'm really excited to see, because it could also be every campaign expansion could introduce a new way to play.
Boom.
Like
You heard it here first.
Yeah, right. Idea. All right, we're out
Thanks
of
guys
here.
for watching. Let's come back in with Iron Man Justice. If you like what you saw from Zach, it's coming.